we've got 15 of the most upvoted best of Redditor update stories for the month of December. Yes, we're finally on the month of December. I'm slowly catching up. Starting it off, I recently met my work partner's wife, and the differences in their personalities is making me jealous about what kind of relationship I could have. But stick around for 4 more absolutely insane best of Redditor update stories, such as I'm being held hostage at my parents' place and I don't know what to do. And finally, the story we're gonna be ending this video on: am I the a-hole for sleeping with my sister's boyfriend, but it's not what it sounds like? Y'all, I promise you these stories are juicy as hell. You guys are in for a good video. Really quick before we get started, if you're new here, my name is Sarby. I've made over 190 reading Reddit videos for you guys that I record live with my audience on Twitch so that you guys can read and react to the stories with me. This is a series I do on my channel where I collect the 15 most upvoted stories for certain subreddits, this one being best of Redditor updates, and put them into, in this case, 2 parts, 2 different videos, because if I put them in one video, these videos end up being like 4 hours long. And let's be honest, nobody watches a full 4-hour video. It's not only easier for you guys, but it's easier for me and my editor so that we're not putting together a 4-hour long video in less than a week. I know it's a little weird. This video only has 5 of the 15 stories, but it's because the first 3 stories are so long. I'm pretty sure the first 3 stories are like over an hour and a half just by themselves. But y'all already know me and my editor Zhivka come out with videos fast as hell, so you guys can expect a part 2 very soon. All the stories in this one are brand new, so you shouldn't have to skip around, but if you want to, everything's timestamped below. If this is your second or third video, all I ask is that you consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Spotify. Just tells the algorithm that you're enjoying my videos, and then they'll continue to show you my videos. And if it's your first video, welcome. Good to have you. I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, there's plenty more videos like this on my channel. Y'all already know the drill. Let's lock in here and read some Reddit. I recently met my work partner's wife, and the differences in our personalities is making me jealous about what kind of relationship I could have. We have a 25 male OP. OP has a girlfriend who's 24 female. Original post January 14th, 2016. Damn, 10 years ago. Ugh. Oh my God, I was still in high school in this year. What the fuck? I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years, and recently I've been wondering if she is really the one. I didn't doubt that she was until I recently started a new career and got a new partner at work, 29 male. He's been married for a year and has been with his wife, 28 female, for 7 years. Him and I spend over 40 hours a week together and have become fairly close. We've been talking about double dating so our significant others can meet, and when I brought it up to my girlfriend, I'll call her Sarah, she was really against the idea. In all honesty, she's been against this new career change in general, even though I make more money and get many more benefits, because she doesn't like the hours, and she says everyone in my profession cheats. When I brought it up, she became very distant and said something along the lines of, in parentheses, don't remember the exact words, why would I want to spend time with these people and give him, my partner, the idea that he's so close to me / can ever know me better than she does. Wait, hold on. Why are you guys already going after OP? I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I'm against the girlfriend here. Don't get me wrong. I need to know what profession he is in that always cheats. I would really like to know that. But also, the girlfriend is the one that's like, I don't want you to pursue a new career. People in chat are already going after OP. For what? He hasn't done anything wrong. Now, who knows what's about to happen? But like, so far, I'm a little against the girlfriend. Also, this line is a red flag to me. In this line, she's saying that she's jealous of OP's new partner at work because she doesn't like the idea that he's so close to OP that he can know OP better than she does. That's fucking weird to me. What do you mean? So let me get this straight. You're jealous that your partner has somebody that they're close with at work? Is this girlfriend also jealous of all of OP's friends? Is OP even allowed to have friends? Because nobody can know OP the way his girlfriend does. It didn't really make sense, but after talking about it, it seemed like she felt like she was being replaced by my partner because we have to spend so much time together. And I only get to see her 2 or 3 times a week with my schedule. She has a part-time job and she's going to uni full-time. Okay, so that's a little bit of a red flag. Why are you guys only seeing each other 2 or 3 times a week? Do you guys not live together? I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years. You guys should be living together. Listen, I'm not pro move in with your partner right away, but after 6 years, you should move in with them. Call me fucking crazy. I assured her that she was my #1 and he was just a cool guy that I'm forced to be with due to circumstances. We didn't talk about it again for a couple of weeks. Then a few weeks ago, I was at the bar with my cousin. She was invited, but she doesn't like my cousin because she finds him too boisterous/candid. Okay, I keep feeling like I need clarification, which in my opinion is a bad reflection on OP. Because like, what do you mean by this, bro? Are you intentionally not giving us enough information on what this means because we also wouldn't like your cousin? And I ended up bumping into my work partner and his wife, my first time meeting her. His wife is very unlike my girlfriend, much more extroverted. She immediately got very excited when my partner told her who I was and told me about all the funny stories she's heard about me. I was kind of thrown off about how open and friendly she was, since my girlfriend sort of convinced me that her feelings of not wanting to meet/associate with them were normal. And like every girl would feel that way, I guess. I don't know. But his wife immediately launched into how we have to all get together finally, and watching the two of them together was just so opposite of how my girlfriend and I act. They animate each other like a two-person comedy act, and I found myself becoming a bit jealous. I did get a little tipsy and admitted to his wife that my girlfriend was worried about the cheating that people associate with my field, and she sort of laughed and said that people say the same thing to her, but that she trusts my work partner and she just laughs it off when people say things. The comments are fucking crazy, bro. Don't get me wrong. I still think this could go the way that OP is in the wrong here, but right now, with the way that we're getting this story told to us, I actually think the girlfriend's wrong here, bro. You know what? I'll just be fucking so real. I would relate to this. Let's be honest, y'all. It's not like fucking content creators are the best fucking people in this world right now. It is a meme that Minecrafters get famous and then they just start immediately grooming people. Like, this space doesn't have the best people in it. I would be a little annoyed if, number one, my partner automatically threw that onto me, even knowing me and knowing how I be and how I act. I would be a little offended. I would be a little annoyed. That's not something I think I could put up with long term. On top of that, if I'm like, hey, I want to take you to go meet one of my other content creator friends and his wife because I like having friends who are in the same career field as me, and she was actively against it, that's a red flag to me. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a little sus here about OP. Tell us your fucking job. Why are you hiding these little things from us? But also, so far, I'm not really fucking with the girlfriend. At work the next day, my partner ended up telling me that my cousin I was with at the bar was talking to his wife and confessed to his wife that he doesn't even like Sarah, in parentheses, news to me, and that the things my cousin told her, in parentheses, he didn't specify, worried her because she was really looking forward to hanging out together, but she was now afraid my girlfriend wouldn't like her. I pressed him for details, but he either didn't know or didn't want to say. That night, I mentioned to Sarah casually that I bumped into them and his wife really wanted to meet her. She didn't like this and again told me she was too busy and had no interest in pretending to be best friends with people who think they're so close to me. This is red flag behavior, yo. I dropped it because it was late, but it started to get on my nerves how opposite these two women are and react to things. Then yesterday happened. My work partner and I had a really early meeting in a city about an hour and a half away, and the night prior, we weren't getting out of work until 10 p.m. My work partner offered to let me stay at his house because we had to be up at 4:30 a.m. He lives an hour closer. I was stressed out because I didn't have time to iron a suit, and I called Sarah and asked if she would go to my apartment, in parentheses, we don't live together, but she has a key, and set a suit up for me. In parentheses, it's crucial that we look put together at work, and I knew she wasn't doing anything that night. Okay, so not a cop. What are some other professions that are known for people cheating a lot, chat? I'm seeing like politician, is lawyer one? Wall Street, probably a nurse, maybe a model. I don't think a nurse would need a suit though, right? Y'all are thinking finance bro, maybe? I thought maybe he's stripping. Hey, yo, let my boy fucking wave his junk around. Okay, I'm actually Google this. Highest cheating rates job professions. Okay, in 2018, Ashley Madison, a controversial dating service for those who are already married or in relationships, asked more than 1,000 users what they did for a living. Among women using the site for extramarital affairs, the most commonly reported profession was working in medicine, with 23% of users working as doctors or nurses. 5% of male users also worked in medicine. Okay, do they not give the male users? What the fuck? Okay, here's a top 10 list. Hold on. Medical field for women, trade work, professions, so like electrician and stuff like that, plumbers. Teachers. Really? Actually, I could kind of fucking see that low key. Information technology, entrepreneurs, hey, finance, hospitality and retail, entertainment industry. Bro, they're coming for my shit right now. Legal profession. Didn't it say top 10? What the fuck? How are you gonna be called a top 10 list and then say fucking 9? So it's funny, cops aren't even on here, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that cops are pretty high up there too. She got really angry. First that I was staying over at my partner's house, then that I was treating her like a slave. I've never in my life asked her to do anything like this, but I'm still very new in my position and I'm stressed out. She said that she had too much work to do and refused. I ran home after work, grabbed my stuff, and drove to my partner's house. I guess I was visibly agitated because his wife asked me what was wrong the minute I arrived, and I just spilled it about how stressed and exhausted I was, nervous for tomorrow, and how Sarah had snapped at me and wouldn't help me. His wife just said, okay, we will have to get back to the Sarah thing at another time, but go and relax and I'll get your suit ready. I tried to argue because I felt really bad, but she wasn't having any of it and started to flat out ignore my protests while she got the iron set up. It just showed me again how different they are and what a supportive partner actually looks like. Y'all, it's this line to me. Sarah does not sound like a supportive partner. She sounds very controlling. She sounds very manipulative. Like, I don't think it's fair to say someone's treating you like a slave when they're like, hey, can you do this favor for me? Like, I think you just do that. I think bare minimum, something that you should want in your partner is for them to be supportive and to support you exactly how this wife is supporting OP's partner. I got off really early today and I've barely talked to Sarah all day. Now I'm just drinking beers in my apartment alone, something I rarely do, and wonder if this relationship is even worth it anymore. I don't have a crush on my partner's wife or anything, but she seems to possess all of the qualities I feel like I want, and I am finding myself getting really jealous and annoyed. But after 6 years, I really don't want to throw everything away if this is something that we can work through. My guy, I don't think your girlfriend's gonna work through this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sarah is it's my way or no way. She does not sound supportive. She doesn't even sound like open to it. I'm not even asking her to just blindly accept everything. I'm just asking her to like show some level of support, because there is literally zero right now. OP answers a bunch of questions before the update. I kind of want to read them because I think we had a lot of questions while we were reading, and hopefully people were asking about them in the comments. Edit, I see I'm getting a lot of reoccurring questions, so instead of answering each of them, I'll leave this here. We don't live together because prior to this new job, I didn't make as much, and my apartment is very small and not meant for 2 people. And she is doing her master's and only works part-time for low pay, and doesn't want to pitch in for rent so we can move to a bigger place. Does that not make sense to you guys? Like, get a slightly bigger apartment together and then split it halfway? Like, she lives at home. Oh, just kidding. Okay, sorry, I didn't read this next part. She lives at home with her parents. Even with my new job, I can't afford a bigger place all on my own yet, while also paying for student loans, utilities, my car, in parentheses, which is a necessity where I live, etc. Also, I know 2 to 3 times a week seeing each other is not a ton, but we spend all my days off together. We didn't see each other more than this prior either because my old job was still 40+ hours and I was also going to school. People think it's strange that I mentioned her being introverted as if it were a bad thing. It's not. I used to think I was happy not seeing our friends often. But my job is social in nature, and I find that I enjoy being more outgoing than I used to be. Yeah, I low-key think that's sales. It's giving a sales vibe to me. This doesn't mean I go out every night. In parentheses, I see my friend/cousin maybe once every 1 to 2 months, or that I want to go to bars and clubs, but it does bug me that anytime I suggest doing anything, she makes an excuse like she doesn't like the person, has no interest in meeting new people, doesn't feel like seeing her friends, doesn't feel like getting dressed up, she's tired, etc. I want us to do new things together. Additionally, I've been asked a lot what I've done to support her and why I expect support. Let me make it clear. First, that I have never asked her to run an errand or do anything for me before. I asked this one time because I was exhausted and stressed. I didn't expect her to drive an hour to drop it off at my parents' house. Just leave it on my bed so I could grab it on my way home. As for what I do to support her, I've helped her many times with research for papers when she was stressed over school. I've taken a week off of work when one of her relatives died and she needed to be with someone. I've taken her car to get fixed numerous times, etc., etc. I text or call her whenever I can, which is multiple times a day, and I talk to her every night when I get off. I don't even spend tons of off-duty time with my partner. The one time at the bar was literally the first time I've seen him outside of work. We have just been talking about all getting together for ages. Hope this clarifies some points a bit. As much as I'm like, okay, you've been dating for 6 years, there's no way that you've never asked your partner for a favor. There are little parts in here where I'm like, okay, OP, like for real, like actually. At the same time, I feel like it's not that weird to ask your partner, hey, here's this thing that you could do if you have time that could make my life a little bit easier and support me, and I would really appreciate it if you did. Unless it's just not possible. That person has something else else that they're doing. Not that it should be expected or abused or anything like that, but I don't think that request is outlandish by any means. Like, I want my partner to be able to hit me up and be like, hey, here's this thing that would make my life easier. Do you have time to do it? And I could do it for them, and vice versa. I still think it's possible that OP could be in the wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, the way it's written, I wouldn't want to date this girlfriend. And I don't think I'm wrong for that. I think bare minimum, everybody should have a partner who supports their goals and their dreams. And if you're like, hey, your profession has a little bit more cheaters, let's lay some ground rules, fine. I'm also pro make sure everybody's comfortable. But like, to just not support it at all, and to not support like, hey, I met this guy, I really like him, I would love for you to meet his wife so that maybe we could have some friends, and for you to be like, no, fuck you. That guy, there's no way he knows you the way I do. Weird. A lot of you guys are saying you don't trust OP's narrative necessarily, but with what we're given, even if the blanks were filled that we want, it's still not okay for this girlfriend to be acting like this. Low-key, it does sound like OP wants his partner's wife. I mean, you can see other people's relationships and what they have and be able to look at it and be like, oh, that's something I would want for my relationship. Maybe he wants the wife, but I genuinely think with the way that he's writing this, he's just coming to a realization of like, holy fuck, I've been putting up with somebody who does not support me in the way that I want to be supported, and therefore I am in a conundrum where I think I need to break up with them. Even though for 6 years I thought this person was the one, I'm finally coming to a conclusion that maybe this person is not the one, and that there is better out there, which I think everybody in chat can relate to, by the way. I think everybody in some point in a relationship, whether it was in it or after it, you sat there and you were like, holy shit, I deserved so much more. We have an update January 21st, 2016, 5 days later. I am not a spy or a hitman or something crazy. A few of you have tried to convince me that I'm an a-hole for not disclosing my job, since apparently I can't be given advice without saying it. I described so many details in my last post that I hope people can just give me at least 1 ounce of anonymity. My career is known for cheating only because of the unpredictable hours. Some scumbags, apparently a lot of them on Yahoo Questions and Wedding Bee and other cesspits of advice that show up on Google, use these hours to their advantage, i.e., oh, I got caught on overtime tonight, when really they are out cheating. This is not a prevalent thing in my experience, but my girlfriend Sarah was Googling my career spouse and came across hundreds of articles, most of them benign, and latched on to the few that stated we all use our schedules for the sake of cheating and nothing else. Yeah, so maybe a doc, but then why would a doc? I guess doctors wear suits. I don't know. I just wish bro would have told us, but I get it. Like, this is the internet. People are assholes. You should put a level of anonymity if you don't want them to know who you are, because people are assholes. Anyway, on to the update. I'm not delusional. A lot of you told me that the only reason I admired my work partner's wife is because she showed her best face to me in public. Of course, this is true. I don't expect anyone to be perfect. What stands out to me, however, is that there is a lot of downtime in my position, and my partner and I bullshit. Every single thing that he has ever said about his wife is positive. Naturally, I would hope that that would be the case for anyone, but I see something in the way that he talks about her that I do not feel when I think about Sarah. He ruminates about their vacations and silly stories and stupid random nights they have together, and I realize that I don't get to enjoy any of that with her. Sarah doesn't like being out of her comfort zone. She doesn't like being spontaneous. She doesn't like being silly. I never knew that this bothered me before, but when I saw how funny and silly they acted together right in front of my face, it just confirmed that I could actually have fun in a relationship. It made me realize that I am not having fun, and that sucked. So after I slept over at my work partner's house, Sarah wasn't talking to me except for sending me passive-aggressive texts about how she hoped that I enjoyed my romantic evening, and that she hoped he was worth it. Come on, bro. I don't know. Maybe OP is bisexual, but like, why are you basically accusing him of cheating? Like, I've seen enough, bro. Drop her ass. Many of you indicated how insecure she must be, that we can barely spend much time together. And suddenly it seems like I am becoming close to someone new when after 6 years we maybe weren't as close as we could/should be. I took this to heart and I saw her point. Okay, but like, you can spend time with someone and other people. And I think part of spending time with somebody that you're planning on spending the rest of your life with is with other people. I don't know. To me, that's just fucking stupid. For people to give her an out that, oh, she's insecure, she doesn't get enough of your time, blah, 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 blah. That's not a good excuse to me. If OP was hanging out a ton with his work partner outside of work, I could maybe see that from the girlfriend's perspective of being like, hey, you already spent a lot of time together with him and I want time with you. But OP literally said, we have never spent time together together outside of work. The only reason it happened at the bar was because we ran into each other. I don't know, bro. She sucks. She sucks. So the next time I was off, this past Sunday, I took her out to brunch. One of the few activities she likes to do. Brought us some mimosas to break the ice and tried to talk to her about the way she's been feeling. I started this conversation saying, I know it sucks that we can't see each other as much as we wish we could right now. And believe me, I wish that could be the case. However, I feel like this is causing more tension than it used to, and I want to know what you've been feeling about all of this lately. I was hoping for an honest conversation where we could just both learn from each other and move forward with new compromises, but she just unleashed. She told me that she doesn't think I have a reason to be close to anyone but her. That my partner sounds like a F slur, her words not mine, that just wants to fuck me. That his wife is probably just fed up with not getting any dick from him and is trying to move in on me. And on and on. Okay, there it is. She's a fucking wackadoodle. A homophobic wackadoodle. That bitch is crazy. In retrospect, I feel like she is just very insecure and this was her way of attacking me and trying to hold me back so I could reassure her. But at the moment, I couldn't think of a way to respond. I tried to deny what she was saying, explain to her that it wasn't the case, and asked what I could do to show her, but she just kept verbally assaulting my partner and his wife, and me for even entertaining the idea of being friends with them. I stopped talking and we ended up finishing our meal in silence, her fuming, me just feeling awkward at this point. Afterwards, we got back into my car and I started driving towards her house. She noticed that we weren't going towards the direction of my apartment, and she started yelling at me for trying to drop her off and not wanting to spend more time with her. She's delusional, bro. If you haven't gotten the ick by now, you should have gotten the ick probably years ago, but at least 30 minutes ago. Like, you say, get out of my car, we're over. At this point, I had had enough. I drove to her house in silence, her berating me the entire way, and then listened to her continue to scream at me for 10 minutes after we pulled up, until finally getting out, slamming the passenger door, and going inside the house. I went back to my apartment, spent about 30 minutes on the phone with my sister, 2 years younger than me, asking her what the fuck I should do, and then decided, probably cowardly after such a long relationship, in parentheses, but really not wanting to be screamed at anymore, to send her a long text message about my reasons for breaking up with her. I mean, this is verbal abuse, my guy. This is not sounding to me like somebody who you could have a productive breakup with in person. You break up with her, she might stab you. Like my brother in Christ, you might want to move. You might want to change the locks on your door. She didn't take this well and blew up my phone over and over until I just turned it off completely. The next day I had work and I tried to talk to her about things back and forth over text, but she kept deferring back to her state of cursing at me and insulting me. In the end, I just told her I could no longer be a part of her life and blocked her. So that was 4 days ago and I haven't heard from her since. In parentheses, she deleted her Facebook though. And honestly, I felt a lot calmer these last 4 days than I have in a long time. It makes me feel guilty at times, but also kind of excited that I can act however I want to act from now on without someone looking down at me for it. Bro, this makes me so curious to find out what that cousin told the wife. I'm trying to find it. If y'all remember, the wife went up to OP and was like, your cousin told me some things about your girlfriend. I need to know. I genuinely think OP's probably a victim. There's no way this came out of nowhere. I bet it was just normalized for OP. He was beaten down so much by her that he just thought this was normal. And the cousin's probably like, I've been new, bro. We've been trying to convince him. I mean, hell yeah, dude. I would just make sure you're safe. So this last comment starts off with change your locks. You can have a relationship like your partner has, but probably not with Sarah. Sarah isn't growing as a person like you are. I've been with my wife 17 years. We grew together. We are both extroverts compared to what you're describing, but my wife is far more introverted than I am, even being more introverted. She is happy and welcoming to all my friends and has many work friends that she introduces to me regularly. She is more interested in staying home, but will always join me out with friends. I work a demanding job. Although my wife is anything but a clean freak, I will often come home to the laundry being done the day I'm supposed to do it if things were rough. I do the same for her. If she has a problem with someone in my life, it's for a damn good reason and I cut that person out. My youngest sister is boisterous. I mean, she's 19 and crazy. We just had dinner with her and her new boyfriend Tuesday. I've never seen my wife dislike someone for anything but a serious reason. The most important thing to me is my wife, but an extremely close second is my best friend that I've known since we were 4. My best friend is a pretty girl. How did my wife handle this? My best friend immediately became my wife's best friend too. There was never a day of jealousy from either one. They formed their own meaningful and important friendship. Seriously, they are closer to each other than anyone else on the planet. They spend almost every moment together with or without me. It sounds to me like you've grown and realized what you want and need in a partner. It sounds like Sarah wants and needs something else. And honestly, it sounds like Sarah isn't a grown-up yet. I don't think she's bad. I don't know, bro. That post-brunch crash out was pretty fucking bad in my books. I now think she's unhinged. I just think you're becoming a grown-up and you're starting to realize that love isn't the only thing relationships need. You're starting to realize you need someone to be on the same page as you, and you need a positive person that wants to support you succeeding. Sarah sounds negative as fuck. Also, if I'm being honest, sounds like you've become more successful in your life with this new career, and it sounds like Sarah didn't want that. Sounds like Sarah doesn't want you to grow because she knows she can't grow herself. Therefore, she can't keep up, in parentheses, which is what's happening. Sounds like Sarah doesn't trust you not to cheat on her. Why be with someone who doesn't want you to be more successful? Why be with someone that doesn't trust you? It also sounds like if you want to keep your relationship with Sarah, you should stop talking about the drama because career-wise, it will negatively affect you if people know you're into dealing with relationship drama like that. In parentheses, thank God you don't want to keep that relationship. Holy homophobic hell. By the way, holy shit. I was waiting for an update on this one. And OP did reply to that saying, oh man, I forgot about that part. I asked for her key back when she was yelling at me in the car, so I have both. Edit because you did. Thanks for that. No, I don't want to keep the relationship. I want someone like your wife who is open to new friends once in a while. In parentheses, I don't expect my significant other to like everyone, and that's fine. But they should at least meet them before they make a decision, in my opinion. I don't think I'll have another update unless something seriously crazy happens that changes my mind. Right now, I'm feeling a lot better than I expected I would. I mean, bro probably feels relieved. He just took a gigantic burden off of his back and threw it into the trash. Really quick, I want to highlight what this guy said right here because I think it's so fucking important. Love isn't the only thing relationships need. You need someone on the same page as you, and you need someone positive who supports you succeeding. Guys, I cannot fucking tell you how goddamn important that is. I feel like everybody is just shoved down their throats these movies where people love each other and they go through trials and tribulations because they love each other. But I genuinely deadass think that is so bad for people. For people to have this like narrative that like love is all you need. That's the only thing that's important. You have to make it work if you love someone. I am telling you right now, please, for the love of God, don't. I can't tell you the amount of people that I know who love each other, but they're so goddamn incompatible. It makes me so furious to see. For the love of God, if you love someone, really evaluate though if that relationship makes sense on paper. Because if it doesn't make sense on paper, you're gonna be miserable, bro. Once you're out of the honeymoon phase and once you normalize that relationship out, that's when shit hits the fans. That's like the number one thing I can tell you guys. Just because you love someone does not mean that you belong together. If you love somebody and you guys are a perfect fit and you complement each other and help each other grow, then you're for each other. I genuinely cannot like stress that enough for you guys. I'm being held hostage at my parents' place and I don't know what to do. We have a 28 female OP, 57 male, and 53 female parents. The user posted in r/relationship advice, r/ask Indian women, and r/am I the a-hole. Okay, so we're starting here with a background post from April 18th, 2023. The title of this post, and I'm guessing this is the one that went into Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for not traveling to my home country to get a surgery done? I, 25 female, have been living in Australia for the last 4 years. Last month, I fractured my hand and had to go get surgery. My parents want me to take sick leave and come to India to get it fixed. Their reasoning, it'd be very expensive to get it fixed here and that it would be easier to have someone to take care of me. I understand their concern, but I wanted to be able to fix things there if possible. I suggested I'd talk to doctors and explore my options before I decide to fly to India. After talking to doctors, I realized that it was cheaper to stay here and get the surgery as my insurance covered most of it. I didn't want to go to India for various reasons. First, I want to have the chance to try and fix things by myself wherever possible. Oh, maybe that's what they meant. Okay. Honestly, I like the way that I read it. Second, I had some major changes happening at work and I wanted to be around for that. And lastly, my father has been looking into various marriage proposals for me, even though I have made it abundantly clear that I don't want an arranged marriage. I've been planning on telling them about my non-Indian boyfriend and didn't want to be there until I'd done that. Also, I came back from India after a month-long vacation in November, So it's not like I hadn't seen them in a long time. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I get that it's a big part of Indian culture, but arranged marriage sounds like fucking hell to me. I love Kathy. You guys know that. I would die before I let her pick my wife. There's no way that the woman that she would pick for me would be someone that I'd actually be happy married to. Absolutely 0% chance. When I called up my father to tell him I want to get the surgery done here, he blew up. He screamed at me for 10 minutes saying things like, "You have absolutely zero sense in you. You just always assume that you know best. Just because you got a little bit of money, you think you can handle everything yourself. Of course, you don't even care if we're dead or alive." That's manipulative. That's on some shitty parent shit. You'd rather cut all contact with your family because you prefer this independent life. We don't have any right to take care of our own family members now. Yeah, sure, stay with people there that you call friends because they're above your family to you now. Okay, so this is the other part of Indian culture that I just really don't fuck with. Which, like, maybe I'm wrong for that, but, like, some of my editors are Indian, and they were telling me, like, they are expected to live with their parents for, like, forever, until their parents die. And I was like, man, that is so unbelievably sad. Like, I think that just perpetuates the idea that you have kids so that they take care of you. And I know that India is different than America, but I know a lot of Americans think like that, and it kind of makes me sick. Like, you are just bringing a child into this world, which is like not the easiest thing in the world, by the way. Like, you're just bringing them in to basically have to take care of you later on. I've never understood that. Like, if I were to have a kid, I would not want to expect of them to take care of me. I would want to bring a kid into the world so that they can go and enjoy their life. Isn't it an affordability thing too? Yeah, probably. I'm sure it is as well. But like, that being said, if your kid's out and about and doing something great with their life, you should encourage that. I genuinely think that. It sounds like OP's in a pretty great position. They're making good money. You know, maybe if you're really struggling financially, like, ask your family member to support you financially. Like, I don't think that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Hey, we raised you, fed you, took care of you growing up. Could you please throw us a couple $100s every once in a while to help us pay for stuff now that we're getting old? I don't think that's required by any means, but I mean, if you have a healthy relationship with your family, I'm sure that they would be more than willing to do so. But this is not the right way to do it. Trying to guilt them, trying to tell them that they don't know anything, that they don't care if they're dead or alive. That's not what family does or what family should do. OP included one more little comment here, and ultimately, let us know if you even want us in your life anymore. And he blocked me after that. This was 4 weeks ago. I got the surgery done, haven't heard from them at all. I called my mother 3 times and she hasn't picked up. My brother is getting mad at me that I'm not making more of an effort to reach out to them. But honestly, I'm furious too now. They had concerns about me getting my surgery done here, and I got solutions to their concerns. They still insisted I come to India, which just makes me believe that all they care about is control. Ding, 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 nail on the head right there. I guarantee that's all they actually care about. They want to control your life. They want to control who you marry. They want to control where you work. They want to control you helping them pay for bills. Listen, I know cultures are different, but I just don't think any culture is a healthy culture when that's part of the culture. I'm all about family, but I'm not about controlling your family members' lives. They wanted me in India to ease my life, but when I decided to get the surgery done here, they did not hesitate to put additional stress on me. Also, it's their anniversary in a couple of days, and I might not get a chance to wish them a happy anniversary. I'm working hard to be a strong, independent woman, and I want to have the best relationship with my parents, but I am just afraid that having that kind of relationship would come with me having a lot less control over my life. Am I the a-hole for not giving that up? Pretty easy, not the a-hole. Not too much to add there. I just think, like, bro, we're growing up in a more connected world where other cultures are coming to light. And it's like, this to me is antiquated. Arranged marriage, having children specifically so that you can force them to stay with you, take care of you, and so that you can control their lives is just not healthy. No matter what culture you are, that is not healthy. I think the bare minimum of having a kid, you should want the best for them, whatever they deem is the best for them, assuming that that doesn't harm other people. If your kid wants to become a doctor, if your kid wants to go to another country and get a job, like, you as a parent, while feeling, oh man, I'm not going to see them as much, you should also be like, you know what? That means I raised my kid correctly. If my kid can comfortably leave the nest, then I've done my job. That is the job of a parent. There should be no type of like, you have to stay here and take care of me forever. I had you specifically so that you could do that. Like, that is not a good reason to have a kid. Your child is not your property. Your child is a living human being that you chose to bring in this world, and you're gonna teach them how to be their own independent human being away from you. Quick little edit here. I saw a lot of comments suggesting that they might marry me off when I get back. I don't think they can force me into a marriage, and surely any self-respecting guy wouldn't want to marry someone who doesn't want him. I don't know anymore. I just knew that there would be a lot of emotional drama, manipulation, and whatnot when I refused to look at potential suitors, and I didn't want to be there in such a vulnerable condition dealing with that. I mean, easier said than done, but based off of their reaction to you just not going home to get a surgery done because it is easier, more convenient, and cheaper for you to do it in Australia is number one, I think just in general, masking some other motive. Whether that's they want more control, whether it's they want to marry you off, they're masking something here. But then on top of that, if they're going to be this manipulative and controlling about a hand surgery, what the fuck do you think they're gonna do when they're trying to get you arranged marriage? Easier said than done, but girl, you need to look at this and be like, even if they aren't trying to marry you off, that is definitely something you need to be worried about until you have set boundaries with your parents. It's like, I'm not going to fucking do this, and the second you mention it, I'm leaving. You have to worry about them pulling fuck shit like this all the time. And I think sometimes the answer is to just go no contact. If this family thinks that they are entitled to this level of control over you, that is not gonna go smoothly. They will try to hand surgery a ring on her finger. Yeah, you're probably right, bro. She'll wake up from her surgery and they're like, we actually got you married while you were under anesthesia. These parents are crazy, bro. OP is underestimating how much control they'd have in that environment. They control your transport, home, etc. It would be so easy to seize their passport and force them. For real. And like, this sounds like a family that would do some crazy shit like that. In India, can you marry off somebody without their consent? I'm genuinely wondering. Because Mother of Eve said they can and will marry her off. Is that true? Is that a real thing? You could just go to a courthouse and be like, I am marrying my daughter to this man. It's less common now, but it can be done. Should I look it up? I mean, I'm trying to stay away from this AI overview, guys, but like the AI overview is saying you cannot legally marry off an adult child against their will. But also, I don't think that is for India. My understanding is it depends on where in India. Kind of like how in the southern US, you're more likely to have child marriages. Ugh. Yeah, that sounds like some southern shit. Okay, so this says no parents cannot legally force a marriage in India. While arranged marriages are part of cultural norm, the law clearly states that marriage without free and full consent is illegal. Forcing someone to marry against their will is a criminal offense under the Indian Penal Code and is considered a violation of fundamental human rights. Okay, wait, that might be good information to know based off what's probably gonna happen. I don't know, guys. I think we just gotta keep going. We don't really know what fuck shit is happening here, but like, if I had read this post when it was originally posted in 2023, I would have been like, girl, get the fuck out of there. Go no contact. It's probably a blessing that your parents went no contact with you. So that was for backstory, but now we're kind of popping to the present. If it's relevant to everybody, OP is voted not the a-hole in that previous post. And now we're on to original post, December 4th, 2025. 2 years and 8 months after that backstory. I'm guessing this one is the one that's the title of this actual post. I, 28 female Indian, am so exhausted of fighting. I'm writing this on my phone in a very emotional state, so apologies if it isn't well formatted or isn't very well written. 3 years ago, I made a post about how my family stopped talking to me because I didn't travel back to my home country to get my surgery done. Well, things never really got better. I started talking to them maybe a year after my surgery when they reached out, and it wasn't great. All we did was fight, and any cordial conversations were conversations of no value. In parentheses, essentially just limited to how work's going and what did you eat, blah, blah, blah. Last year, they showed up to Australia out of the blue, and I didn't handle that well. My partner and I met them, but suffice to say, they weren't very happy. I mean, that's a crazy fucking thing to do. Like, I would be a little butthurt if Kathy showed up out of the blue at my place, and I live like 4 hours from her. From fucking India to Australia? That's like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? You don't travel internationally to somebody and not fucking tell them. Coming back to today, I came to visit them in India with my partner staying with us for a week and then 2 weeks without him. They were adamant they only want to spend time with me. I was keen to work on the relationship because I do want to get married and have the option to have potential kids, and I can't really / don't want to do that without them involved in my life. In parentheses, I'm dating an Australian guy, 28 male, who I've been in a relationship with for over 5 years. They made an excuse so we couldn't stay with them together, but they met up with us for lunch the day my partner was leaving. Ever since I've started staying with them, they started talking about how I should extend my trip. I made it very clear about how I can't, and I've had multiple fights with them over this. One of them where my dad started talking about how I'm essentially filth, and I live in filth, and he can't believe he's been loving filth this entire time. Okay, so your own dad starts calling you filth for just wanting to go live your successful life? Bro, get the fuck out of there. Fuck fuck this man, fuck your dad, fuck your family. That's not family. Hopefully you have some good in-laws because your shit-ass parents are not cutting it. And also, I know you said like, oh, when I have kids, I would really like my parents involved in their life. Absolutely fucking not. As a future parent, you should not want people this fucking toxic in your kids' lives. Like, girl, let's get a grip on reality. Your parents are fucking weird. They're fucking control freaks. They are going to do the exact same shit they're doing to you, to your kids. It is your responsibility to not put that in their lives. They've been taking me around our relatives and didn't let me leave the day I had my return ticket. I've cried so much talking to them, but apparently the plan always is what they want from me. I don't know what that sentence means, chat. I've cried so much talking to them, but apparently the plan always is what they want from me. They've said I'm not allowed to leave anymore because apparently I've become a very negative person and they are worried about me. They have said that the Australian chapter is closed for me and I'm staying here from now on. My dude, you gather your shit and you leave in the middle of the night. Go sleep at the airport until your flight is ready. Like, if Kathy ever said this shit to me, I would just order an Uber and drive away, flipping her off. Not that Kathy would ever do that, but you know what I mean. I'm so scared and I really don't know how to deal with this situation. I'm looking for advice from anyone at all. I want to leave, but I'm worried they're going to stand guard at the door from now on and won't let me walk out. My brother is physically bigger and stronger than me, and he isn't on my side either. Bro, what a fucking dog shit brother. Bro, that's the fun part about having siblings. You can sit with them and be like, Mom and Dad are being fucking crazy right now, bro. I would say, like, maybe call the police? I don't know how effective Indian police are, but, like, if you're like, I'm trying to leave and they're not letting me, and you call the police and be like, they're literally not letting me leave, the police are gonna do something about it. But, like, no way you want these people still in your life, bro. Especially when you have kids. That's insane. The cops won't help in India. Okay, that's what I figured, but I didn't want to assume right off the rip. I think the best bet is sneak out in the middle of the night, right? Maybe comply for a couple of days, act like, okay, this is my new reality. And then when everyone's asleep at 1 a.m., you fucking dippity-doo-dah. I don't know how easy that is in India, but there's not much more that you can do other than sneak out. So some of OP's comments, somebody said, you're an adult. A quick Google search of Indian law shows that holding you there against your will is a violation of Indian penal code. Call your law enforcement, explain your situation, and have them escort you out the door and over to the airport. And then they're basically saying exactly what I'm saying. OP replied, thank you. I've been too disturbed to think rationally and just wanted to seek advice from other people because calling cops seemed too extreme. But my aunt has threatened to tear my passport or lodge an FIR against me for a made-up reason, so I'll be tangled in court cases and won't be able to leave. I'm just really scared to do this alone here, but I guess I have to. That's insane, bro. Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your family's this fucking crazy, don't go anywhere near them. Like, they're gonna pull shit. They're gonna pull evil shit. So here's somebody asking our question. Will the cops take this type of call seriously, or will they treat it as a family matter, even though it's illegal? If you think this might happen, you should rather contact a woman's shelter. Also ensure that your partner knows exactly what's going on and keep the messages as a record of how your family has treated you in case it's needed in the future. OP replied to that saying, that's the other thing I'm worried about. Family relationships trump everything else in India. And I don't know to what extent it extends to cops as well. I've emailed a woman's shelter, but I don't have an Indian number and haven't been able to make the calls. OP did add another comment saying, I've been holding my passport, my visa, and my credit cards on me at all times. I'm worried my father can escalate things further because I never expected things to turn out this way, and they did. My boyfriend can book tickets for me for sure, but he's not in the country, so his involvement will be limited. And then to another commenter, OP said, I can enable roaming and then hopefully make calls. Booking an Uber would be fine, but would be good to have a way to make calls if needed. I honestly don't care about money at this point. I also have an eSIM that only has data, so I can still access the internet. I think I have to go with like act compliant, especially with how fucking crazy your family is. Pretend like you're going along with what they're doing, and then as soon as they get comfortable, you fucking get the hell out of there. Here's another comment saying, leave early in the morning / middle of the night. OP said, the house isn't too big and the door makes a lot of noise when opened. Sorry, I know it sounds like an excuse, but I'm really scared of getting caught and making things so much worse. But I know I'd have to do that, and that's the only way. We're leaving for my parents' place tomorrow for my grandparents. I've had no opportunity to escape yet because I've constantly been surrounded by too many people, but I know I'll have to act when we're at my parents'. I mean, shit, bro. If you have your passport, visa, and credit cards, is there an opportunity for you to like run away? If you don't mind leaving your shit that's probably at your parents' house or just leaving your shit behind, I would just like, oh, hey, we're stopping for gas. Like, I'm gonna go inside and go to the bathroom and then just fucking run, bro. Just get out of there. I don't care what you left there or what they have in the car. Like, if you have your passport, visa, and credit cards, you need to get the hell out of there. Order an Uber ASAP, Rocky. They're probably on 24/7 alert of her leaving. That's why she needs to be like, oh, no, we're chilling. Nah, bro. This is why you guys gotta be fast as fuck, boy. This is me. I'm running. I'm running and I'm swinging. Normalize running and swinging, chat. Okay, so OP replied to a longer comment saying, thank you so much for your reply. I appreciate you citing the text that they hold so dear. My family, my relatives love me so much, but their love borders around possession. In my opinion, that's not love. Love is not possession. Love is wanting the best for that person, even if that means that you don't have a spot in their life or as much of a spot as you would like. Possession is not love. I've heard such foul things from them, including how no other girl in the family would ever be given an opportunity to grow from now on because of the example I've set after being trusted. I'm so exhausted of being blamed for every fucking problem. That's so toxic. That's not love. That's a fucking toxic ass family. That's them wanting to give you Stockholm syndrome, bro. Insane that this is like a cultural norm. Later in the comment thread, OP included, my family's extremely religious, and the other reason they're worried is because our family astrologer apparently told them that I'm on a very wrong path and in 3 to 4 years of my life would be absolutely ruined. They think they're protecting me, but I cannot get myself to agree to that. Y'all, chat, another reason religion is just the bane of existence. No way you are listening to a guy who's like, oh yes, I'm an astrologer. I looked at the stars and saw that your daughter's life is gonna be fucked in 4 years. Like, I can't take you seriously. If that is something that you could genuinely believe, I think you're brain dead. He's probably just saying whatever shit the family wants to hear. Somebody said, your father called you filth. I'm not sure that's love. OP replied, he's been acting all loving since then, and this has always been the pattern. He spews hateful things at me and then acts normal the next day or extra loving, and I'm supposed to forget all about it. I've always been told his anger is just built up frustration, but when I get angry, I'm told I need to see a psychiatrist or a counselor. Yeah, that's called your dad is a fucking toxic piece of shit. Is OOP an Australian citizen? Nope, unfortunately not. Otherwise, I could imagine Australian embassy being a lot more involved. Another person asked, I think you should post about this in an India-specific sub. Americans who aren't familiar with India can't say whether or not the cops will uphold the law for you. It might be smarter to play along with your family until they trust you enough to leave the house on your own and just slip away while running errands. OOP replied, I tried finding Indian-specific subreddits to post on, but in my state, this felt like the easiest place to post. I wanted to post in an India subreddit, but they've changed the way you post Ask India, and I knew no one would ever be able to see this. Editor's note, OOP is advised to post in the r/Ask Indian Women subreddit. Okay, so it sounds like OP posted this exact same post into r/Ask Indian Women, and then the author of this post included a couple comments from that. One commenter said, if you can still use technology, contact a lawyer and file a habeas corpus writ. You can obviously call the cops too. Also ask your partner to book a ticket for you to travel back to Australia and legitimately run away. I mean, what other option do you have? Don't know your visa situation, but staying like this at 28 isn't healthy. OOP replied to that saying, a general consensus on relationship advice subreddit by Indians was to not call the cops, as they might not cooperate. Consider this family matter and side with the parents. I don't know what they can or can't do, as I haven't had to involve cops before, but I'm just scared to do that now. Yeah, I like the contact a lawyer thing maybe, but I feel like we've already established cops are not the move here. Another commenter said, this post is so confusing. I don't understand how exactly they are preventing you from leaving. Are you locked in a room or something? You have access to the phone and internet. Hopefully you have your passport, book a ticket yourself or ask your partner to book it for you and walk out of the damn door. Unless you are physically tied to a bedpost in a locked room, I am not able to grasp what is the issue here. You are a grown adult. Why are you seeking their permission to leave? Also, we have 24 hours in a day. Your brother is not going to spend the entire time guarding you. It will take you 2 minutes to grab your necessary documents and reach the front door. Listen, I know a lot of you guys were saying that it's impossible, but like, I don't think, unless they are physically locking her in places, unless there's family members standing guard 24 hours a day, there will become an opportunity. Pretend like you're going along with their shit. At the second they let their guard down, you fucking open your door, run out the front door, even if they hear it, and just fucking dip. As fast as you can, run as far as you can, get to safety, order an Uber, take Uber to the airport, stay at the airport until you have a ticket to fly away. That's, in my opinion, like what I would do. Oh, they're probably not even sleeping in a room alone. Oh, okay, that actually is a good point, Magma Shark. OP said, I know for a fact that if I walk out with bags, they will physically stop me. Leave your fucking bags! Like, at this point, girl, leave your bags. And I don't know what other consequences would be to that once they know I want to walk out. The only thing I can do is leave without bags, and I'd probably have to do that. Yes, please, please. Listen, obviously we need to know the full picture. If OP is in their own room, I don't think it's that unrealistic for OP to be able to dip out. Me personally, it feels like a lot of lucky moments. It is not lucky for people to go to sleep. You get them comfortable, you say you're staying, your parents go to sleep, your brother goes to sleep, you take your documents, you open your door, you open your front door. She's scared and it's hard to leave. That's an even better reason. You are in a scary situation. Run. Yeah, listen, guys, I'm trying to be nice here, but like genuinely dead ass, you guys being like, oh, but she's scared. But like, that's so hard. What's the other option? She just stays there and chills? Me personally, I'm going out swinging. That's my encouragement. Go out swinging, OP. Like, make it as easy as possible for yourself. Don't take bags. They're gonna weigh you down. They're gonna be loud. It's gonna be more likely for you to get caught with those bags. Leave the bags. Take your visa, take your passport, take your credit cards, and at the soonest opportunity, fucking run. Just wait at the airport is not really an option. Why not? What do you mean? You go to the airport, you buy a ticket, you get through security. I mean, I guess I don't know how India's security is, but then you just hang out in the airport until you're about to board your flight. And what are they gonna do? Like, even if they do, figure out what flight you're on, buy a ticket, go through security, they're not going to be able to snatch you up from the airport and take you home. You could be like, I'm getting on this fucking airport. Listen, you guys are assuming the worst of India. I think a lot of it depends on where in India they are, but if they're in a relatively developed part of India, I want to have faith in India's development, where if you are at an airport and there are people trying to like abduct someone from going onto a flight that they have a ticket for said flight, it shouldn't even be a question that this person's like, I'm going to get on flight. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but like, I don't really see a world where that's the case. Arthropod J, I just genuinely think like I can say you need to do what's hard and also understand that there are a lot of hardships in front of you. But by me saying that you have to do something hard, people wanted to backtrack and be like, you don't understand, Sarby, it's hard. It's like, I do understand. That's more of what I'm pissed at. I'm not trying to say that she shouldn't feel fight, flight, whatever. What I'm saying is, girl, like, you gotta process this, take it in and be like, okay, we have to take action here. I just don't understand why you guys keep bringing it up. Like, I understand she's in a stressful situation. You're identifying the thing that's the problem over and over and over again instead of identifying what the solution to that problem is, which is what she wants. Men always have to fix it. Cambodia, she's literally asking for a solution. I don't know what the fuck you want from me, bro. That's why we're here. She said, help. What do I do? Like, what do you mean? I can't. I'm crashing out, Cambodia. I'm crashing the fuck out. I bet your comment was just a joke, by the way, but I like... Okay, guys, I'm very self-aware. I will be the first person to fucking tell you that is a problem I have. I see a problem. I want to fix it. It's something where when I'm talking to like a girl, I have to actively like pull it in and be like, I'm not supposed to fix. I'm supposed to listen, hear, and if she asks for advice on how to fix it, I include it. That being said, that's what we're doing here, y'all. That's what we're doing. It's people giving advice on the internet so that other people can give them solutions, can give them advice. This is my advice. Girl, get the fuck out of there. Your family's crazy. Get out whatever way you need to get out. Never talk to your family ever fucking again. Here's one more thing actually that I wanted to bring up really quick before we get into this. A couple of you guys were saying that OP's boyfriend should fly into India. While I do think it would be helpful to have a man there, I'm not sure if that's the man, because it sounds like Indian officials don't necessarily care if a man is helping. They care if either the husband or the family father figure is helping. So like, not saying that it maybe wouldn't have some of its advantages, but also I don't know if that's a whole solution in and of itself. Bouncy Ball said, I don't know if the boyfriend should endanger himself and her like that. I'm just going based off of assumptions of Indian culture. I could be very wrong. I want to say that right here, right now. That being said, I'm kind of along the lines of Bouncy Ball. Like, I think if the boyfriend included himself right now, it would only make it less likely that OP would be permitted to leave or have an opportunity to leave via her parents. Or not via, but you know what I mean. So we have an update post, December 9th, 2025. 5 days after this, I guess you could call it original post from December 4th. In short, I ended up running away from home. I'm still contemplating if the decision I took was too extreme for this situation, but I think I'll go crazy if I go down that rabbit hole. A couple of friends of mine had a friend, in parentheses, who I met last month, but was hesitant to reach out to because he was a fairly recent friend in a town 3 hours away. So my boyfriend and my friends planned my getaway. You know what, chat? That is something none of us considered. Like, hey, you have any friends around who could maybe help you with your escape? But fuck yeah! I was constantly surrounded by my relatives / parents to plan things. But for everyone reading, I am of sound mind, and the decision to do this was mine alone. I snuck out the night we came back home from my relatives on the pretext of going for a walk. But I know they'd probably have found out not too long after I left. My friend was waiting in his car close to my place, and he drove me to the airport. It was perfect because booking a cab would have had issues with timing. I didn't know when would be a good time to sneak out, so having a friend around gave me the flexibility to sneak out at my own convenience. The priority was getting out of the country as soon as possible without even knowing what the best way was to get to Australia. Oh, that's actually so smart. Like, she doesn't have to go directly to Australia. She could give her parents not the opportunity to catch up to her and find her at the airport by just being like, fastest flight out of this fucking country, get me on it, ready, set, go. Okay, all right. Like, bro, that is itching my stupid little male solution-oriented brain. Oh my God. This was also crazy timing with the Indigo fiasco. Editor's note, this is regarding the Indigo airline and flight disruptions. Not sure if it helped or hurt our chances. I could only do this because of the immense support from my friends back home who spent a lot of time planning the routes and booking the flights for me so as not to arouse any suspicion from my family and very little time for them to act. I've had messages from them and a few calls. All I've done is message them that it was my decision to leave and list a couple of points on why, and that I'd be keen to work on the relationship if they can try to come around to my life choices. Girl, please, for the love of God, drop them. Drop them so fucking fast. Like, I know somewhere up here, OP apologized for using the word hostage because it was too drastic. I actually don't think it was drastic. I think you were genuinely a hostage. You are a victim, and who perpetrated it were your fucking family members. They should in no way, shape, or form have any relationship with you ever again. Thank you everyone again, and especially to people who reached out to make sure I'm doing okay. There is one edit on here. I know there's been a lot of backlash in the comments around me wanting to work on the relationship, and I just want to be clear that it doesn't mean I'll be going back to India in the next few years or ever putting myself in a situation where I would be face to face by myself. And even then, they would have to put in significant work to earn back my trust. This would need to happen over the phone, and I'm going to be taking any apology with a grain of salt, and I'm not hearing them out on anything other than an apology anytime soon. Okay, I need to stop dogging on her because she clearly has some sort of like Stockholm Syndrome-esque type shit. I'm not a therapist, so I know that's not the correct term, but like the only thing I can really equate it to, get therapy, please. That's all I ask. I hope somewhere in here it's, yes, I'm in therapy, like, please. My partner and I agree that throwing away the relationship that I've had for the past 28 years of my life is a really big step, and now that I've gotten out, they have lost a lot of the power they once had. Now that we have the advantage in the situation, we want to show some level of mercy, and this is just because they can't do anything in this country from a legal perspective. What? I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm a fucking asshole, but people like this don't deserve mercy. What do you mean mercy? Like, girl, show some mercy to yourself. Like, you know? Oh my God. That family is not it for real. I don't know who needs to hear this, but like, if your family is threatening you, that is not anyone who deserves mercy. You are swift with the no contact, and you are ruthless about enforcing it. Just to be clear, showing mercy does not mean meeting them. It just means I'm willing to hear them out only over calls. Even if they show up to Australia, as is their right, we're not scared. Last time they dropped in unannounced, they walked around town without knowing where we were for days. Hey girl, I don't know who needs to tell you this, but that is not normal behavior. That is stalker behavior. That's fucking weird. If it's anybody other than family, you're immediately sitting there and being like, that's dangerous. I really am crashing out. Like, therapy, please. A therapist who's gonna be like, actually, girl, your family's fucking crazy. And realistically, guys, I wanna bring it back to like, for all we know, this story's fake. Who knows? There are fucking shitty people out there on Reddit, but there might be someone out there watching this video right now who relates to this. And I just am so passionate about being like, hey, I'm talking to you right now, bro. I'm talking to the person who is listening to this story and is like, oh my God, this is my reality, I'm trying to be the voice that's like, hey, I believe in you. I believe that you can get the fuck out, but like, don't do what this person's doing. Please, for the love of God, when you're out, stay out. Don't give them any chance to deceive you, to wiggle their way back in, and to cause danger or harm to you and your family. Please. This family has shown that they are not capable of having a healthy relationship with you. And the chances of that changing are, if not zero, so fucking close to zero. Genuinely dead ass, if you relate to this in any way, shape, or form, this is me telling you, please, for the love of God, do what's best for you. And we're more confident in the legal protection we have here. I'll be seeing a therapist soon because since getting back, I haven't been able to sleep the best. The one thing from this fucking update that I'm glad to read. Thank you. I need this to be like the Michael Jordan of therapists. I've been having dreams every night that I'm still trapped and have no way of getting out. This has been a big ordeal and I'm not going to pretend that I'll be fine without professional help. We'll be dropping an email to the Indian embassy, letting them know that I've left on my own will and any potential complaints coming from India are fabricated. Okay, I don't think this comment is very useful, but it is kind of backing up exactly what I was saying of like, they started off by saying you're setting yourself up to be kidnapped again. And I think that's true. I genuinely think that's true. I think by giving these people a place in your life, giving them the opportunity to apologize and earn your trust back, you are just setting yourself up to be deceived again. Am I the a-hole for accusing my sister-in-law of emotional incest and ruining Christmas? Original post from December 19th, 2025. I, 24 female, have been with my husband, 26 male, for 4 years, married for 2. Everything is great between his family and I consider us all to be very close. Excluding my sister-in-law, 22 female. Not that I haven't tried to build a relationship with her, but I was warned by my husband the first time meeting her that she is very territorial of him, and she has definitely lived up to that. This territorial behavior has reared its head many times while we were dating. Some examples would be asking my husband to sleep in bed with her on my first vacation with his family. Fucking what? After my father-in-law said he got my husband and I a separate room, accusing me of being a gold digger and grooming her brother. Girl, do you know what grooming means? 26 male husband, 24 female OP. She follows that up with ... he's 2 years older than me. Sitting on his lap during our rehearsal dinner. The list can literally go on and on. Okay, so like, question, what is your husband's reaction in all this? Like, I think that's very important. Is your husband like, ew, no, I don't want to fucking sleep in the same bed with you instead of my wife? Or he's like, sister just being sister. Or is like, she's sitting on his lap and he's not like, oh, dude, that's fucking weird. Like, get off of me. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. I love my sisters. I'll give them hugs. I'll show them affection. My sister comes and sits on my lap. I'm like, you gotta get the fuck off. Like, wee woo, weird as hell, weird as hell. I do want to preface by saying every time she steps out of line, my husband and my in-laws correct her. But when called out, she always blamed her BPD and her horrible actions were always forgotten. Okay, what does correct her mean? I mean, good, I'm glad, but like, what I want to know is, are we publicly shaming her? Like, we should be making her feel bad for saying these things. Being like, actually, he really should sleep in the same bed with his wife is not good enough. If she's pulling weird shit, we need to make her feel like she's pulling weird shit. I don't care about the BPD. I'm sorry, I don't. That's tough if that's what you're dealing with, but for the love of God, someone needs to tell you that you're being weird. But after her behavior at our wedding 2 years ago, where she basically sobbed the entire day and pretended to faint during our first dance, yes, we know she was pretending. My mother-in-law called her out in front of everybody, and it was very embarrassing. My husband had to have a talk with her and set some very firm boundaries. Okay, that's good. Glad we're there, but I feel like after this, where's the no contact? Like, I'm sorry, if my family member deliberately tries to ruin my wedding, we're immediately going no contact. Since that talk, she still calls and texts my husband daily, but has pretty much stayed away from me, and has kept her outward dislike for me and public attention seeking to a minimum. That brings us to tonight. My in-laws always host a huge Christmas gathering the week before Christmas for all the family, including distant relatives. We have always had a great time, and I've managed to stay cordial with sister-in-law despite the dirty looks she was shooting me. But this year is different. We announced that we were 10 weeks pregnant. My sister-in-law threw a fit, ran out of the room loudly sobbing and slamming her bedroom door, leaving what was supposed to be a happy time dead silent with a few awkward congratulations. All right, fucking timeout, dog. Let's take a step back here. We gotta do something about this, bro. I'm sorry. If you announce that you're pregnant and your husband's sister is acting like she's an ex who is in love with your husband, that's the level of reaction that she gives you guys. It is time to cut ties, baby. Like, I need to know the state. This has to be Alabama, right? Like, need that sweet home Alabama. Why is this family so nonchalant about this, bro? That's what I feel like. I'm so sorry, but like, I don't know how to describe this, but like, this exchange should not be awkward to me. Like, you see this shit and you go, hey, like, congrats. Like, we're so happy. We're gonna go fucking check her into a mental institution right now. Homegirl needs a grippy sock vacation and we're gonna take care of that because what the fuck? My mother-in-law rolled her eyes and went to follow her, but I stopped her and told her that I could go. I was hoping that this would finally be a time where we could actually have a conversation and maybe I could get her to finally tell me after 4 years why she felt like I was such a threat. I was wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if this is the best time for you to open up a conversation, girl. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the conversation needs to be had, but I think in like an intervention format. I knocked on the door and went in and she immediately screamed at me to get out, but I asked if we could talk. I honestly didn't even know what I was going to say to her, but I didn't have to say anything because my husband and mother-in-law came in behind me. My husband very harshly asked her why she's always had to ruin things to get attention. In parentheses, that's been his stance the entire time. Not that she has an unhealthy attachment to him, but that she has a constant need for attention. I'm sorry, girl, but like, your husband's a little stupid and delulu. The writing is on the wall and he's choosing to misread it, dog. She asked him why he was so disgusting, which obviously left him confused. She then yelled, "You fuck her." It's disgusting. My husband, being his usual snarky self, said, "Yeah, sometimes multiple times a day. She's my wife. What's your point?" My mother-in-law laughed, and that sent her into a rage. She started screaming and hitting him like a freaking toddler. Okay, so you think having sex with your wife is disgusting, but asking your married brother to specifically sleep in the same bed of you isn't? There is a screw loose in her head. By this point, I'd had enough. I can't even remember all what I said, only that the only thing that was disgusting was her emotionally incestuous fixation with her brother, and asked if she wanted to fuck him because it kind of seemed like she did. I realized I was screaming by the end of it. Sister-in-law just covered her head with a blanket and cried. My husband tried to uncover her, but mother-in-law took my husband and I downstairs. Where's the father-in-law in all this? When we got down there, pretty much everyone was leaving, and father-in-law looked like he could punch someone. So my husband and I left too. Ah, that sounds like a very healthy family. Gee, I wonder who the sister-in-law gets it from. I cried pretty much all the way home, with my husband trying his best to assure me I did nothing wrong. When we got home, he told me to sleep and went out to the garage and he called his parents. I feel bad because I truly do love my in-laws and don't want to ruin our relationship. Now I'm lying here, questioning if I spoke out of turn, implying that it was more than just attention seeking. No shocker, but OP was not the a-hole. Yeah, pretty fucking easy one. It makes me sad that people have to like make posts like this. You need to have people in your life who are like, hey, you're not the a-hole, and what the actual fuck? I pray to God nobody watching this stream or this video relates to this in any way, shape, or form. But if you do, let me be the first person to tell you that's fucking weird. It's not normal. You need to do something about it. And also, maybe I should also clarify, if you're watching this and you have a weird attachment with your brother and or sister, get help. ASAP Rocky. There's something wrong with you. That's super weird. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm super close with my siblings. I could never. I mean, shit, I'll hit on my sister's fiance as a joke, but that's as far as it goes. Shout out Chandler. I love that, man. Okay, so a lot of you guys are talking about the family, and here's what I will say. I don't think this family is like awful by any means, but I also don't think the family's doing enough. I think the husband has handled it okay, but I also think he needs to take a harder stance. I don't think it should have ever gotten to this point. And same with the in-laws. Like, I don't think the in-laws are enabling the behavior, but they're definitely not doing more. Like I said, y'all, I genuinely think they need to shame her. I'm sorry, and maybe that's wrong, but I just don't see another answer. You're not gonna kitty glove this woman into realizing the way that she's acting with her brother is fucking weird. You gotta be like, hey, bro, that's weird as hell. That's incestuous as shit. shit, you're being disrespectful to his wife, and you need to cut this shit or you're not going to be included in family events. Give her like a 3 strikes you're out rule. I feel like it's that simple and they're just not doing it. It was probably really cute as kids, but now it's creepy and hard to confront. You know what, Cottonmouth? That might be some good info. Like, how were they when they were kids? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's fine to be close as kids or to like share a bed with your brother or sister when you're kids. But I think there's a certain point around like 13 where maybe, unless it's completely necessary, you should avoid it at all costs. Maybe even a little bit earlier, honestly. We got some relevant comments here. Commenter 1, not the a-hole you just said out loud what your husband should say from the beginning. I know he spoke to her about what she did in your wedding, but what about all the other things? All the things she said about you. Sitting on his lap? Really? That's disgusting. Congratulations on your pregnancy, and if you need to stay away from her for a while, for your own sake, no one should blame you. That's her fault. OOP replied, he has addressed the overly touchy thing and talked to her many times about embarrassing him and looking weird, which she blamed on being manic. After the talk after the wedding, he educated himself on bipolar disorder and realized that's not how it works and physically distanced himself from her, but staying in contact over the phone. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what I said earlier. I think the husband has done enough to where it's like he's trying, but I also think there needs to be an ultimatum here. That's like either things get better or we are not going to see you ever. Because like at a certain point, if you don't give people a definitive breaking point, they're just gonna keep bending. If you allow them to bend the rules, they're gonna bend them. Okay, so I think the most important part of this paragraph is her family needs to intervene and seek therapy for her. Her actions and reactions are outrageous, irrational, and potentially dangerous. I've seen enough documentaries to be afraid of that happening, but that is not your fight. It's her and her family's. And then this commenter also said, I do highly recommend staying away from her. OP replied to that comment saying, you don't have to worry, I will never breathe the same air as her again, which is the right answer. I also think this should have just happened a lot earlier. I think the husband and the family let things slide way too much. This should have been, you're not breathing the same air as her way before you got pregnant. We got an update here. Update number 1, December 19th, 2025, same post hours later. I just wanted to hop on here to say that my husband just got off the phone with his parents and they are extremely mad at sister-in-law. He asked me if I seriously thought she thought of him in that way, and this all stemmed from jealousy. Apparently, father-in-law has thought the same thing since an incident happened last year where me and mother-in-law were talking about lingerie, and sister-in-law locked herself upstairs the rest of the night, but he was trying to convince himself he was wrong. I told my husband I don't know if it was necessarily a physical attraction, but it is definitely jealousy. All 4 of them are going to sit down tomorrow to have a conversation. I'll update again after that happens. For now, all is good, and nobody thinks that I ruined Christmas, LOL. I can't fathom this. The writing was on the wall. Okay, first off, what a cool mother-in-law. Like, what kind of lingerie you wearing for my boy? You know, like, mother-in-law wants her son to get his nut. I respect it. But, like, also, how did you guys see this and not think, that's weird, that's suspicious? Probably easier said than done, and, like, hindsight's 20/20 and all that bullshit. But, like, I don't know. I just hope that if I'm in a similar situation, I can identify it a lot earlier to, like, not put my wife in uncomfortable situations, because that's what I think is my biggest problem here, is just OP has been in uncomfortable situation after uncomfortable situation, and they should have just nipped it in the bud after like the 3rd or 4th one. Update number 2, December 20th, 2025, same post next day. Okay, so OP leaves a couple of prefaces here saying, I messed up in my original post. She has bipolar disorder, not BPD. She started showing signs of depression at 15/16. Before this, they had a normal sibling relationship, honestly, maybe less close than most siblings. This was before my husband and I were together. It was the height of the lockdown, and my husband had to return home from college. My in-laws are essential workers, knew something was going on with her, and because my husband was home, he was tasked with watching after her. She was going to therapy at the time, I believe. Long story short, she attempted while he was home alone with her. He found her, and she was committed for 7 days and virtual outpatient. This was really hard on my husband. He felt responsible because he felt he should have been watching her better, knowing she was struggling. This led to him overcompensating when she got home, basically waiting on her hand and foot, begging his parents to get a baby monitor, a therapist recommendation, and even moving his bed into her room, so they were sharing a room. From what she says, she hated it and teases him about it to this day. Everyone got therapy after the attempt. Oh, okay. I think that's pretty important backstory, OP. Because, like, yeah, this is all where it started, girl. Stark said we should have started with this. I'm like, now I feel a little bit bad about shitting on her. Like, still, her behavior's not okay, by the way. I should clarify that. I don't think this justifies the behavior. It's nice to know the background. But, like, honestly, though, for me, like, you guys should have been connecting the dots way back. If anything, this gives me more ammunition to, like, okay, the family knew this background. You and the family see what's happening, and you guys never connected the dots of, like, hey, maybe she has an extremely unhealthy attachment to the husband. I'm more just putting this on the husband and his family. Like, you guys knew all this. If my brother did that for me, I wouldn't fall in love with him. What the fuck? Me too. I agree, Kara. But I also can understand how somebody with mental health issues comes to that conclusion. It's not a justification. It's not me saying it's okay, but I kind of understand where she's coming from more. It's an explanation, not an excuse type beat. Sister is not in a mental state to be rational. That's how I feel too, Bouncy Ball. But what I'm saying is they should have identified that way earlier. After a couple months, my husband was medicated for anxiety/OCD and began giving her space. And after 2 years of therapy, he no longer takes the medication. She went through a manic episode the first few months of my husband and I dating and was committed again, this time being formally diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She still receives treatment. Now, for a small update, my mother-in-law called me and said she didn't feel comfortable with me coming this morning for my own safety, but she didn't want me to feel like they were hiding anything from me. So she's going to call me during the conversation. My husband's uncle, in parentheses, I think he's an uncle to be honest, I have no idea how he's related, is a psychiatrist and was there last night, is going to be there. He was the one who suggested this intervention, so I guess he's going to mediate. He doesn't treat my sister-in-law, obviously, but knows about her history. Random observation that has nothing to do with the story. I kind of fuck with the mother-in-law. This sister aside, mother-in-law sounds pretty cool. Very respectful. Unlike other mother-in-laws that we hear about here on Reddit. Even though they're on my side, I think mother-in-law and my husband think this is all some big misunderstanding. No! If you see 2 + 2, you have to be able to come to the conclusion that it equals 4. These motherfuckers are seeing 2 + 2 and they're like, it's 5. It has to be 5. If it's not 5, it's just a big misunderstanding that it's not 5. Like, come on. Oh my God. How can you still think this is a big misunderstanding? I take it back. I can't praise this mother-in-law. Mother-in-law immediately ruins Sarby's praise. No, for real. You're making me look stupid, mother-in-law. Get this shit together. I think father-in-law, on the other hand, has been paying closer attention for a while and doesn't have the same hope. Sister-in-law is apparently pretending nothing happened and is acting normal this morning. My husband has already left for their house, so I'll hopefully have another update soon. I'll probably just comment on this post because this is getting long, but I really appreciate all the comments, and I showed them to my husband this morning. I think he left with a better understanding with what he is dealing with. OP prefaces the next update, which seems to be like a transcript of the call with, I just posted an update in the comments. Any and all advice is welcome. I have no idea what to do. Oh no. Talk about foreshadowing, y'all. Oh my God. We got update number 3, December 20th, 2025. Same post hours later. I don't even know how to write this out. I seriously feel like this isn't real life, but I'm doing it now, so I don't forget details, and I think it might be good for my own mental health to vent. Like I said, I read all the comments and messages to my husband earlier this morning before he left, including the ones suggesting he might be more at fault than he or I want to believe. Okay, but like, how did he react to that? Did he get defensive? Was he like, yeah, these people are totally right? I want to clarify, by the way, I don't think he's at fault for taking care of his sister. I think that was really nice of him. I think he's at fault for not nipping this in the bud earlier. My mother-in-law called me as soon as my husband arrived. I muted myself and have no idea if my sister-in-law had been told that I was on the phone or not. I could hear them all sit down, and my sister-in-law sighed dramatically, which caused my mother-in-law to tell her that this was serious and that her behavior was unacceptable and needed to be discussed. I'm sorry if the dialogue is hard to read, but I can't be bothered to do this more grammatically correct right now. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my Alexa just went off, and that was really terrifying. I'm sorry if the dialogue is hard to read, but I can't be bothered to do this more grammatically correct right now. This is obviously not going to be the exact combo, but as accurate as I can remember. Okay, and this next part I'm about to read is all like dialogue. So I'm gonna say the name of the person speaking and then what they say and just go on like that. Sister-in-law. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry I hit you, okay? Whoa, hot start. What the fuck? Who did she hit? Did she hit the husband? I can't remember. Oh yeah, you're right. She started screaming and hitting him like a freaking toddler. Okay, I see. The uncle psychiatrist responds, this is less about your physical assault and more about why you felt you were justified to hitting him at all. Father-in-law says, are you attracted to your brother? God damn. My guy did not cushion that blow at all. Bro got straight to the point. OP's husband, crying, said, Please tell me if I've ever done anything to make you think that we are more than just siblings. Mother-in-law says, please, father-in-law, you can't really think she's attracted to OP's husband's name. Father-in-law, I do think that, and she obviously has a reason to believe it's okay to act on it, which is why we're here. Mother-in-law, we're here to try and help her with whatever she's going through, not make ridiculous claims. Mother-in-law, come on, bro. I was going to bat for you. I was saying you were chill as hell, but like, this ain't chill as hell. You are in denial. These aren't ridiculous, baseless claims. They're making these claims because it seems like she is in love with OP's husband, with your son. OP's husband followed that up with, what did I do? Because I moved my bed in your room? I'm so sorry. I was worried. You were young and I didn't see it like that. I tried to give you as much privacy as I could. I was just scared. Sister-in-law finally chimes in, crying, saying, no, you didn't do anything like that. I just don't like OP. Uncle, why don't you like OP? Sister-in-law, I just don't. Uncle, that's not an answer. What don't you like about her? Sister-in-law, she was mean to me. Mother-in-law replied to that saying, that's a lie. OP's husband, you've never been alone with her other than for bridesmaid stuff. And you were acting this way before then. Sister-in-law said, it doesn't matter what I say. You think she's perfect. OP's husband replied, she's my wife. Sister-in-law replies, so what? She's a whore. OP's husband said, she was a virgin when we met. That doesn't make any sense. Sister-in-law replies, so am I. What? Am I reading two different conversations here? Girl, what is we doing? Oh, this is breaking my little brain. I can't do this. What do you mean? She was a virgin when we met, so am I. I sure hope so. You guys met when you were children. He met you when you were a baby. Whoa. This hurts. I just need to keep going. My brain is officially broken. They broke me. Congratulations, you win the You Broke Sarby award. Take your prize. It's my brain in a bucket. Oh my God. OP added a little context in here, breaking from the conversation, saying, I want to say that this has always been something sister-in-law brings up, that I was raised uber religious and was a virgin when I met my husband. Why? Please? I need more clarification on that. What do you mean that's something she's brought up? Multiple times, it sounds like. You know what? I've never asked my sister's fiance, like, fucking ever in the 7 years I've known him. Hey, bro, were you a virgin before you met my sister? Like, the more I read, the more I'm like, how the fuck was this conversation not done way earlier? Continuing the conversation, OP includes mother-in-law, father-in-law, and husband all tried to talk at the same time, but the uncle stops them. Uncle, why does it matter that she was a virgin? Sister-in-law starts scream crying. Father-in-law, yelling, says, I can't do this. You will tell us what the hell is going on right now. Okay, father-in-law, I love that you're the only non-delusional one here, but you are not helping. Like, let's let the uncle do this and fucking duct tape the father-in-law's mouth. Cause like the uncle's like trying to be like, hey, you gotta tell us this thing that's bothering you. And then the father-in-law just pulls the pin on the grenade and throws it directly into the sister-in-law's mouth. Oh my God. OP adds here, aside from the conversation, that during this, uncle tries to stop father-in-law, I assume from standing up. I can hear mother-in-law and husband crying. Father-in-law said, you will be out of this house tonight if you don't explain yourself. There was a long silence and lots of sniffling. This is where things kinda got rough, so I'm trying to remember as best as I can. Sorry if there's gaps. Sister-in-law says something about being naked. Uncle replies, when were you naked? Sister-in-law replies, the night in the bathroom when OP's husband found me. OP's husband, obviously confused, says, what? I'm sorry, I didn't dress you before the paramedics came, but I was more worried about you dying? He then says something along the lines of he's replayed that night over and over in his head and it never once mattered that she was naked or stuck out to him. OP inserts their commentary saying, I think this is true because we've talked about that night many times and never once has he mentioned that she didn't have clothes on. Sister-in-law starts sobbing again. Father-in-law replies, you were the one who decided to attempt naked. Whoa, chill. Like I said, I think this father-in-law needs to shut up. He is just poking the bear with a grenade, not even a stick. So the uncle tells the father-in-law to calm down, and then he says to the sister-in-law, why does it matter that you were naked? There's another long silence. Mother-in-law or husband, I can't remember, chimes in and asks why again it mattered. Sister-in-law responds, whispering, saying, I chose to be naked. Father-in-law throws or slams something and leaves the room. Mother-in-law, you wanted him to see you naked? The husband then chimes in saying something along the lines of being adult at the time and how disgusting that was, not to mention that she was his sister. Uncle finally chimes in, thank God, saying, did you want OP's husband to see you naked? OP chimes in with some commentary saying, I don't think she answered the question. Sister-in-law then chimes in and says, I saw the pictures. OP's husband replies, what pictures? And then sister-in-law says, the picture she gave you at the wedding, they wanted me to give one to you. She then said something about him looking at them over and over during the reception and whispering to me during our first dance and that it was gross. OP adds some commentary here saying there's a trend where you have each one of your bridesmaids give a boudoir picture to your husband during the reception. We did that. Sister-in-law refused and I accepted. I've seen this trend. I think it's kind of cool. 10 out of 10. I better be getting some boudoir photos of my wife from her bridesmaids during my wedding. Future wife, please take notes. Back to the story. Girl, what the fuck? That's not even on topic, dog. What are you talking about? Mother-in-law says, is that why you pulled that stunt at the wedding? Uncle chimes in. So what do you want to get out of this by causing trouble in your brother's marriage? Sister-in-law, I wanted him to come home. Uncle, and do what? Sister-in-law replies, I don't know. Uncle responds to that, yes, you do. OP adds some commentary. Father-in-law comes back in and asked her if the only reason she committed was so her brother could see her without clothes on. Don't get me wrong, I think the father-in-law is still like a fucking bull in a china shop right now, but this is kind of what it sounds like. The duality of chat here perfectly describes what's happening. Cloud Dreamer is like, father-in-law is cooking, which I agree. Bro is the only one with his finger on the pulse. That being said, father-in-law, please get out of this. Like, the father-in-law is taking what needs to be a very constructive, delicate conversation and just fucking nuking it. Father-in-law comes in, says that shit. Mother-in-law starts chanting no, no, no over and over. OP's husband says, what did you think was going to happen? I was going to leave OP and be with my baby sister. OP added some more commentary in here. Mother-in-law says she's going to be sick and sister-in-law just cries. The uncle says something along the lines of, the sister-in-law's silence is the answer, and nobody has a choice but to believe the accusations if she doesn't explain herself. And following that up, she still didn't say anything. Father-in-law chimes in, again, here we go. You need help that we can't give you. Sister-in-law says, I just needed OP's husband. All right, that's the end of the dialogue. Thank fucking God. Back to paragraph format that we're usually used to. I started panicking at this point and had to hang up. My husband called not even 5 minutes later and said he was coming home, that nothing was said after I hung up. He was sobbing and I have no idea what to say to him. He said he needed to go back on his meds and I agreed. He also said we were moving. I don't want to do that, but I don't know what else to do. I have no idea what's happening with sister-in-law, and my husband said he needed some time before he could talk anymore about it. I've never seen him this upset over anything. And I know I shouldn't, but I still feel responsible. Not for marrying my husband, but maybe I did something to make her feel intentionally jealous. Listen, I'm reading in between the lines, but it sounds like her obsession with the husband had been there long before OP was ever in the picture. I know I probably should not have been so honest about my lack of sexual experience, but I was immature. I just don't know what to do now or how to fix it. Bro, what does your lack of sexual experience have to do with fucking anything? What are we talking about? I need a drink. I don't drink that much anymore. I need to fucking knock a shot back, because what the actual fuck did I just read? Send amber lamps. That's all I got. Chat, I'm a yapper. I am very rarely broken by a story. This destroyed me. I genuinely don't know what to say. Like, I think it just speaks for itself. This is fucked. I actually don't think OP's husband being like, I need to get back on meds and we need to move the fuck away. I actually don't think that's an overreaction. I think that's a perfectly regular reaction for learning that for your entire life, your own sister has been trying to manipulate you into dating her or into being in love with her. My guy, get the fuck out. Make like Jordan Peele and get out, my boy. Oh my God. We still have an update, by the way, you guys. And it's the same post 3 hours later. I can't. Oh my God. I want to remind you guys, this is all like within a day's span. Yeah, bro. Original post December 19th, 2025. Update 4 is December 20th. Chat, I think this is the most insane 24 hours that have ever existed in anybody's life. It really does not get more bad shit than this. Like, what? The husband needs witness protection. I don't disagree. This is bad shit. Genuinely, chat, I don't think we've ever read a crazier story. I genuinely believe this is one of the most crazy stories we've ever read. And we read the gaycation story. We read the butter story. I think this rivals those stories, except for it's not as funny. It's just purely fucked. Update number 4, December 20th, 2025. Same post 3 hours later. Titled, Last Update for a While. Sister-in-law is going inpatient. Probably a good thing. Thank God. My husband called her a few hours after he returned home to formally go no contact, and I think maybe to see if this was all some sick joke. She had a mental breakdown. Bringing up a specific instance when my husband had a normal male reaction after waking up in the middle of the night. What? Girl, just say he got a boner. Like, come on. You're 24 years old. You can say he had a boner. What are we, 12? Come on. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Sister-in-law brought up a specific instance when my husband had a boner after waking up in the middle of the night. She saw him in the hallway on the way to the bathroom and thought that boner to waking up was because of her. She was 14, he was 18. Apparently, she brought it up the next morning at breakfast in front of her whole family. My husband was extremely embarrassed and hadn't even known she was even up. That is a crazy villain origin story. Holy shit. Of course, their parents explained that it was normal and to not spy on her teenage brother. This instance was apparently what started her undying love. She said some truly disgusting things that I will not repeat here. When my husband told her that this was all in her head and that he had never thought about her like that, she threatened to commit again to make him love her again. Needless to say, the ambulance was called about an hour ago, and I couldn't imagine they wouldn't keep her there. My husband has switched from confusion to rage, but I believe anything he's feeling right now is valid. Holy shit. Chat, I think I need therapy after this story. Like, let alone the people in the story. All of you. Therapy ASAP Rocky, but like, tap me in, dog. What the fuck did I just read? This is someone's reality, y'all. I don't even know if I have anything to say, anything to add. Just, oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, how do you get together as a family after this? Even minus the sister-in-law. My gasts are flabbered, chat. I have nothing else to say except for what the fuck. I'm genuinely in a loss for words. I hope none of you ever have to relate to that. Manifesting for that for everybody watching this right now. Am I overreacting for taking a break from my boyfriend after he ripped through a whole turkey at our family Thanksgiving? Originally posted to r/am I overreacting on December 9th, 2025. My boyfriend, 28 male, and I, 27 female, have been dating for almost 2 years and living together for 6 months now. I met him through my friend at a house party and we immediately hit it off. He was almost exactly like a guy I wanted. Extremely tall and huge, witty with jokes, kind and well dressed, and he was absolutely buff. We vibed throughout the party and exchanged numbers at the end. Okay, am I wrong for this? But I feel like that's like kind of a mean thing to say. I understand if you're like, he's my type, extremely tall, huge, witty with jokes, buff, whatever. He was almost exactly like a guy I wanted, meaning this guy was close enough to the guy that I actually wanted. Burrito said extremely superficial requirements for a boyfriend. I actually have to agree with you on this. I mean, maybe not completely, but I mean, I think anybody who's like, oh, he has to be tall. If he's not tall, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Whatever am I gonna do without a tall man to make me feel so tiny? I just feel like it's like, bro, come on. And vice versa, by the way. If you're a guy and you're like, she has to be fucking tiny, grow the fuck up. He has met my family a couple times after we moved in together, and they absolutely loved him. My grandparents host Thanksgiving dinner almost every year, and we were both invited to it. I thought it would have been lovely to make him meet with them, and my other family members too, since my uncle's family would be there too. We had to drop his sister off at his parents' house, in parentheses, 2-hour drive, and he picked me up from our house, in parentheses, it was a 1.5-hour drive to my grandparents' house. Everyone was happy to meet him, and it seemed like they really liked him, until we sat down for dinner. We said our grace, and Grandpa carved the turkey, started to pass it around the table. It was a regular sized turkey like we have for every Thanksgiving, enough to feed 12, and we still have leftovers. We were 10. Both of us were sitting at the end of the table next to Grandpa, so my boyfriend was the last one to get it. There was still a lot of it left because everyone only took a little and would pass it around again for more after some time. He placed it right next to him and started digging through the entirety of it. He was so profuse, as my nephew said later, gobbling it up. I told him quietly to go easy, but he did not listen. So like, I feel like digging through the entirety of it is not clicking in my brain. Like, I need to know more. Like, is bro like hands and face fucking like, blah, like eating that shit? Or is he just trying to get as much meat off of the turkey as he possibly can and maybe taking more than he should? He started saying how good it was, and my grandma had a huge smile on her face. He was eating just the turkey, and my grandpa said, "Boy, someone really likes turkey." Everyone laughed, but it got to the point where everyone was talking about it. He did not take any hint and shrugged it off like a teenager. My face turned red from the embarrassment, and I could see everyone judging us so hard. I could hear my uncle and his wife making unfunny jokes about it. It was finished without getting to anyone again with no leftovers. Okay, so that's wrong. I guess it's more of a clarification. I'm still so curious, man. Was this man like fork and knife in the turkey, like eating it straight from the plate? I don't know. Weird, but like, okay. My boyfriend is a gym freak. He spends ridiculous amounts of time and money on working out, eating protein-rich meals, online courses, etc. He has a set protein limit that he hits every day, sometimes over it, but never under. He also gets his protein from just the meals, no supplements, so he is used to having large meals. It has never been a problem with me, and I respect his way of living, if not love it. We cook together all the time, and if I'm not in the mood, he happily makes a meal for me. He won't even let me contribute in grocery expenses. Because of him, I started eating healthy and felt a lot better about my lifestyle. After the dinner, we got into a fight while driving home. He said he had been driving all day and didn't eat anything after breakfast, so he had to hit his protein, that he wasn't enjoying it after some time and had to just shove it down his throat. I said if he was that hungry, I would have happily made him a meal after we had gotten home, but now everyone in my family is going to talk about how you finished something made for the whole family. He had thought everyone took their share. What? He got really mad and said I'm blowing this out of proportion and overreacting over a simple meal. Okay, I'm on the girlfriend side fully, you guys. This guy's a fucking moron. Listen, I can also sit here and be like, girl, of course, you chose the absolutely buff guy who's extremely tall and is obsessed with the gym. Like, those guys aren't known for their IQ points. Congratulations, honey. This is your type. Should he do that? No, absolutely not. I don't think you're overreacting, but like, girl, he cute, but he dumb. Sorry, girl, when your criteria is tall, buff, gym freak, it's slim pickings out there. I snapped saying, how am I overreacting if I'm just trying to communicate about what he did? It was an hour-long drive, so things got heated up. He kept saying I'm calling him a pig for eating like that and should probably get out of his life if it's such a problem because he believes he did nothing wrong and isn't gonna change himself. He persisted on it, even though it wasn't my point. I mean, yeah, girl, I think you should get out of his life. If he can't be like, yeah, I was kind of being a fucking pig in that moment. My bad, let me apologize. Like, you really want to fucking put up with that the rest of your life? I think it should be general etiquette if you're eating at your significant other's house for the first time, or honestly anybody's house for the first time, you shouldn't leave completely full. Sue me, bro. But I feel like that's the time where you're like a little bit more conservative, well-mannered. And then once you're fully integrated in that family, maybe then you can be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking demolish this turkey. Maybe we should get 2 of them. I'm still so curious. You guys are saying it in chat like he fondled that turkey. I just want to know, like, what was bro doing that she was like, he was in that fucking turkey, man? It got so bad that he dropped me at a gas station in the middle of the night and said, think about what I just did. Fuck everything that we just read. That right there alone is breakup worthy. I was terrified. I collected myself to call an Uber to my sister's house and sobbed the entire night. I told myself after a week, things would get clear. He hasn't texted me, nor did I. I can see how I could have reacted differently, but I can't get over the fact that he just left me stranded in the middle of the night. Am I overreacting or should I just make a move on making things straight? Yeah, no, fucking break up with him. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Like, he was already on thin ice with him eating the whole turkey and acting like a fucking glutton in front of your family, but leaving you alone at a gas station in the middle of the night is unforgivable. I don't know who the fuck needs to hear this. Guy or girl, you should never do that to your partner. That's insane. Also, you guys, I'm trying to understand. So I went and got blood work done because like I just wanted to make sure I was healthy. And I was. All the levels were good except for one. The one blood work level that they were like, hey, you should watch this and we should figure out why this is the case was my creatinine levels. Not creatine, creatinine, which I learned it can mean a couple of things. It basically means that your, I think, kidney isn't like processing things as efficiently as it should, which long term is not a good thing. And it was solely because I was eating too much protein. I too am a little bit of a gym bro. Sorry. I'm not like a gym bro who like identifies himself as a gym bro, but I'm just somebody who likes working out. I think working out is good for your brain. The happy chemicals that get released while you work out are very, very valuable. But when I was talking to my doctor, they were like, oh yeah, like if you're, I think I was doing like 200 plus grams of protein per day some days. And my doctor, she was like, hey, yeah, you should probably lower that. Like you don't need that much protein, even if you are working out. And so I did, and it's all been hunky dory. But I'm just thinking, like, if this man is eating as much turkey as OP is describing, that's too much fucking protein. That is an ungodly amount of protein that you just do not fucking need. Like, I understand trying to hit your protein goals as somebody who like tries to stay healthy and tries to watch what they eat because it's very easy for me to overeat. But at the same time, my guy, you just can't be doing all that. And it's probably not that good for you. Like, I fucked around and found out that at a certain point, there's such thing as too much protein.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. We kind of caught you at an intimate moment. Yeah, no, you clean that butthole, bro. You go back to what you were doing. Nope. He said, sorry. No clean butthole. Treat time. Nothing like licking your asshole and then eating some treats. I think we got 9 in here.
Leah, thank you again for the raid. These are from you, but also any gifters, any gifted memberships today. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with me and my Kibby. Let's feed the beast. All right, sweet man. Oh yeah, we're luring him in. Come here. Yeah, oh, you know what it is. You know what it is, Mr. Beans. That's it, my guy. That's it. He's been housing them lately. I swear to God, I'm feeding him. Like, I promise. I think he just gets it now. Like, he understands the vibe, whereas before he would kind of like pick one after the other, but now he's like, oh shit, like I can feast. Was that a feast, Mr. Beans? Whoa, put away the butthole. No, no. Oh, you're just gonna leave us after we gave you treats like that? Is that how it be, Mr. Bates? You're just gonna leave us? Baby, come back. You can blame it all on chat. It was their fault because nothing's my fault because I'm perfect. He's coming back. He agrees with me, chat. The Beans has spoken. You are all wrong and I am right. Everything is your fault and I am perfect. Just like my handsome man. Yes. If you look at this side of the screen, you see 2 perfect boys. And if you look at that side of the screen, you see the evil chatters who are always wrong and never right and evil, unless they give me their prime subs. Oh, what a good boy. Yeah, such a good boy. Such a good boy. We do have a comment from OOP replying to another one. A commenter said, you made him feel like a greedy pig because that's how he behaved. You all tried to tell him gently to stop. I guess you should have been more direct. Kick him to the curb, especially since he dropped you at a gas station in the middle of the night. Do you think he might be using steroids to get that angry? If he's a true gym bro, he's using steroids for sure. OP replied, I agree. I should have been more direct, but my thinking at the time was not to escalate it more and be discreet about it. I am not 100% on the steroid use. I ask him about how his workout was and sometimes give him a massage if he is really sore, but that's about it. But lately he's been getting passive aggressive. I just shrugged it off thinking one of those long days. Guys, I gotta hop to this update. I'm curious, what happens? Hopefully all ends well and OP just breaks up with him, but I'm guessing this is a roid rage man, so this might get messy. Update, same post, December 11th, 2025, 2 days later. I called him to talk about what had happened. The call was answered by a woman whose voice I didn't recognize. In parentheses, yes, it wasn't his sister. I know her voice very well. When I asked if I could talk to him, she replied, he is in a cardio session. I'll tell him to call you later. Cardio session? Is that code for sex or like, what the fuck is a cardio session? What, is he on the treadmill? Okay, knowing a gym bro, he's probably on the stair stepper. Tell him to answer his goddamn phone or y'all are cheating. I was puzzled after this, so I waited for his call, imagining all the worst things, and it turned out to be right. He was cheating on me. He told me he'd been seeing her for a couple of months. She works as a coach in the gym that he goes to. I searched her up on Instagram and she is a fitness influencer with a lot of followers. A lot. He said she is a much better match for him and will help him grow his career on social media. Yes, he has a fitness channel too, but with nowhere near the amount of followers she has. She had a much better body than me. When asked why he didn't tell me earlier and ended things right there, He said he knew I would overreact and act emotionally immature like I'm doing right now and wouldn't understand him. Yeah, man, I just thought you would overreact and act emotionally immature when I told you I've been cheating on you. You just don't understand me, man. You don't understand that I need to cheat on you with another woman because I want more followers on my stupid YouTube channel. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be so mean right now. As a person who goes to the gym bros are insufferable. I'm so sorry, bro. Most of their posts just make me want to put my head through a wall. Unless it's like, hey, here's some exercises that you can do to target this thing. When it's just like, bro, watch me fucking lift this really heavy piece of metal. Oh, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Or when it's like, oh, my progress. I'm like, oh my God. How narcissistic do you have to be to think that I give a fuck? Honestly, OP, like this sucks for you, but like you're probably better off. He has packed my things in boxes and kept them in the garage and told me to collect it or not. He doesn't care and ended the call. I started sobbing uncontrollably. My sister was beside me and comforted me. She said his fitness influencer girlfriend might not even know that we had been dating, and he is running after her followers, not her. I started saying he couldn't do that, and she replied that I'm in denial, and he probably saw the opportunity on Thanksgiving to argue and got rid of me, making me think I was the one that caused the end of our relationship. I'm taking my sister and her boyfriend to collect my things this week and probably get a closure. Okay, well, I'm guessing there was no closure there. Either tell that woman influencer that like, hey, bro, you've been the other woman for the last couple of months because she probably doesn't know, or if she doesn't care, fucking dox her. Bro, it's 2025. You make a little ticky-talky being like, hey, my boyfriend cheated on me with this bitch and she didn't care. Bro, ruin her followers. Sarby supports doxing? Fuck yeah. 100%. If an influencer is being a bad person, you deserve to tell the world about it. Hey, so here's a picture of me and my boyfriend. Here is this woman with my boyfriend. I told her that she was the other woman in this relationship and she didn't care. That's TikTok worthy, bro. Am I the a-hole for sleeping with my sister's boyfriend? But it's not what it sounds like. Originally posted to r/am I the a-hole on December 2nd, 2025. My sister, 26 female, is dating and soon to be engaged to my 25 female ex-boyfriend, 26 male. Hold on. So that was your boyfriend first, and then your sister said, yaga yeet, mine now. That's some crazy sibling rivalry. In parentheses, I know he's planning on proposing, or was, as I was helping him. When I was a 16-year-old, I dated my sister's now boyfriend for about 6 months. It wasn't a super serious relationship, but we, as most teenagers do around that age, had sex. We did it a few times, but nothing obscene. The relationship ended amicably because we simply didn't want to date anymore. There were no harsh feelings, and we remained friends throughout high school and college. When my sister was around 23, she moved back to our hometown a year or so after college, and he was living there also. They began to spend time together, and she asked if it would bother me if they began to date. I had absolutely no problem with it and told her there were absolutely no weird feelings, and I didn't even consider him a serious relationship, as it was nearly 10 years ago. They've now been dating for the past 3 years, and he plans to propose and has even asked for my help. Knowing that backstory, there shouldn't be a problem, but we know where this is going. We know that the boyfriend, nor OP, told her that they had sex. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of weird. Don't get me wrong, I think it's fine if you guys can all get over it and just be like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But for the guy, I'm like, why? With all the fish in the sea, you had to go fishing for another one in the same family? Like, come on, bro. Now, for the actual conflict. About a week ago, I, my sister, and her boyfriend, and a few of our mutual friends went out to dinner. During one of the conversations, my sister made a joke about how he better propose soon because she was starting to feel like an old maid. Her words. I asked her what she meant, and she said they were both saving themselves for marriage. Oh, what a fucking setup, man. Holy shit. Yeah, you guys are saying in chat, that's on the boyfriend. Like, bro, you didn't put together like, hey, I literally had sex with this woman's sister. There is such a close relation and chance that one of these days it will come up that I'm not a virgin. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell the woman I'm planning on marrying that I'm a virgin. What are we doing? I'm not supporting liars, but all I'm saying is if you're lying, lie better. I asked her if she meant in just this relationship or if she was saving herself, period. She said they had both been saving themselves their whole life. I gave her boyfriend a strange look from across the table and she caught it. She asked why I looked at him weird and I said it was nothing and tried to move past it. She insisted I tell her why because she thought I was judging them. I confessed that we had sex in high school, although it didn't really mean anything. She got mad at him first for lying, and somehow he managed to convince her that it never happened, and then she got mad at me for making stuff up. Oh, okay, so this is a fucking boyfriend straight from Satan's asshole. Oh, dear Lord. What? She got mad at me for making stuff up and, direct quote, trying to sabotage our future marriage because you're not over him. I told her I was, in fact, completely over him, and that I was also not lying. And then they both got up and left. My friends know I was telling the truth and have tried to contact her and back me up. Kathy! Bro, my mom is queen of calling me. This is the second time today she's called me during busy time. Kathy, I'm live right now. They can hear you. Oh, butt dial? Hello? Catherine. Do you hate me? Kathy! Can you hear me? You're really, really quiet. Oh, my volume was down. Did you butt dial me?
No.
Did you mean to call me?
Yes.
Are you lying?
No. Why did you think that?
Because you weren't saying anything for the full first 20 seconds.
Oh, something must be up with my phone because it took forever for you to answer the phone. I was surprised it rang that many times without already going to voicemail.
Oh, okay. You're live, by the way. I'm streaming right now.
Oh, hello, audience.
Hello, audience.
Hello, Benny's friend.
I'm sorry. I totally forgot to call you after pickleball. Can I call you after my stream?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Be good to your peeps.
I will. Oh, they're all saying hi to you, by the way.
Hi. Tell them all I said hi.
They can hear you right now.
Oh, they can actually hear me? That's
Yeah.
so cool. You'll have to explain to me how this stuff works. I still don't totally get it. I'm lucky, you know me. I'm lucky to be able to respond to a text message.
That is, in fact, true. I'm just holding you up to the microphone. So the same microphone I'm speaking into. I'm putting my phone up against it. I'll send you a video.
Yeah. Oh, that would be very good, Benny.
Yeah. All right. Well, you drive safe, okay?
Are you going to call me tonight?
How late will you be up?
Oh, just probably another couple hours. You know me, I'm old.
I mean, me too, bro. I'm planning on doing a longer stream. I'll text you after stream, and then if you're still awake, I can call you.
Sounds muy bueno.
All right.
Bud.
Love you.
Be good.
Yeah.
Bye, bud.
Bye. Oh, I love that woman. Oh, yes. Back to the evil fucking sister. My friends know I was telling the truth and have tried to contact her and back me up. Okay, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, where are the friends in this? Like, if they know, why didn't any of them go, nah, girl, your boyfriend is lying? She hasn't answered any of them and texted me the day after saying that I wouldn't be invited to the future wedding if I didn't admit to lying. Future wedding? You just got the nuke drop that your boyfriend has been lying to you about being a virgin and that he's saving himself for you, but in reality, he not just slept with somebody, he slept with your sister. Chat, I'm not gonna lie, like, genuinely, I don't think I could be with someone like this. You're telling me that this man was so stupid he thought he could keep that one under wraps for the entirety of his life? Really? That's so stupid. Like, that should have been the first thing you confess. Hey, if we're gonna move on with this relationship, you should probably know that me and your sister did the devil's tango. I put my peen in her vagine, you know? I do feel really bad and wish I hadn't said anything or lied about why I looked at him, but I felt like I owed it to her because she's my sister and he was lying. Should I have handled it differently? Not have told her at all, etc.? Am I the a-hole? No, bro. I mean, here's the one thing I'm questioning is like, did this like never come up? I don't know. I've never been in this situation, but I would like to think if I had slept with somebody that now my sibling was interested in and my sibling asked for my permission, I think I would specify and be like, hey dog, like, you know how your boy does it? You already know how it be. Like, is that gonna be a problem in the future? Like, I'd bring it up. I don't know. I do not have very much experience sharing partners with my sibling. Ugh. Thank God for that. But like, how did that not come up? It's not on you, girl. It's on the boyfriend. Like, that's definitely something you should let her know. Hey, dog, your boyfriend is lying to you. And not just lying to you about something that's pretty important, but lying to you about something that could be easily found out. I can't get over the fact that it's like, how the fuck did you think you were gonna get away with this? It's crazy the sister doesn't believe OP. Actually, though, it is kind of fucking crazy. At this point, it's her fault to believe him. For real. You have to sit your sister down and be like, you understand how fucking crazy this is, right? Like, why would I lie about this? Be like, I don't give a fuck about this man. I give a fuck about you. And I'm telling you right now, we slept together and he has been lying to you. Let the sister suffer with this awful man. I mean, if she's dumb enough to believe it, like, kinda, yeah. Here's the thing, y'all, is like, I understand that sometimes the best times for bad shit to come out is not in front of an audience. Like, nobody wants to be told that their fucking boyfriend has been lying to them their entire entire relationship, especially a boyfriend who you're planning on getting engaged to soon. But on top of that, nobody likes to be told that in front of other people. That not only brings in like, hey, you're wrong and that's embarrassing, but like to add salt to the wound of embarrassment, let's do it in front of an audience. I understand how she could maybe not have the best reaction to this. That being said, I think OP needs to sit her down and be like, you understand what the fuck is happening, right? I am not lying. Your boyfriend is lying. He's manipulating you. This did happen. I have no reason to sabotage your relationship. And if she still believes the boyfriend over you in that one-on-one situation, tell her to go fuck herself. Good luck with the liar. I think the only other thing I would maybe recommend is if OP has proof of any sorts. Like, I don't know what kind of proof you would have. I'm not talking about, by the way, like pictures and videos, guys. Obviously not. But like they have a text exchange of them talking about having sex or something like that you could pull from an old phone or some other evidence along those lines. That's what I would try to pull up the receipts for. One of the top comments is, if he was banging you at 16, there's a strong chance he banged others from 17 to 23, right? Anyways, not the a-hole. I mean, yeah, but like, I don't think this is the point. Like, it's not like we have to point out like, hey, your boyfriend was probably a slut. It's really that, hey, your boyfriend has been lying to you about having sex with not just other people, but with your sister. Call me fucking crazy, but I think if you're gonna have a healthy relationship with somebody who you've dated their sibling, you have to tell them that you've had sex with said sibling. Sue me, bro. Sue me. Another commenter said, I would be willing to bet that the issue of whether he'd had sex with you specifically was brought up early on and it bothered her, so he decided to lie about it because that would have seemed easier to him than dealing with the whole issue. You are not responsible for facilitating his lies, and you are not the a-hole for being honest with her. But I doubt their relationship survives. I mean, unless your sister fucking doubles down like an idiot. Okay, OOP updated the next day, December 3rd, 2025 on the same post. Okay, so I'm first gonna start off with some context to clear up some confusion I was seeing. My sister and I grew up kind of religious with pretty old-fashioned parents. I didn't really buy into any of the religion stuff, but my sister did. Not quite as much as my parents, but definitely more than me. They always told us to wait till marriage, but I clearly did not listen to them, and I guess it never occurred to me that my sister probably did. The reason she never knew about us sleeping together is because I didn't tell her, because I thought she might tell my parents, and I didn't want to deal with them. The reason I didn't know she was waiting is because she has always been the one to keep that kind of thing to herself and is very set on having her own privacy. How old are you guys again? 26 and 25? Dating for 3 years, so like 22 and 23? I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking weird, bro, but I feel like me and my siblings are like, I mean, we don't get into the nitty gritty, but like, we know how it be. Like, I can't imagine this kind of sibling relationship, you guys. Like, me and my siblings fucking talk about shit. I think that's how it should be, bro. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not in us against them that's like detrimental, but like growing up, it really was like me and my siblings versus my parents in terms of just like some things that we could talk about with our parents. Then we just talked about amongst ourselves with siblings. But you're not religious. This is my problem with religion. People really still comment on my videos. They're like, oh, why do you talk shit about religion? Because it's fucking crazy. It's psychosis. I can't get behind it, bro. You can't tell me that my beliefs are crazy when you guys believe in a guy who turned water into wine. I'm so sorry. Turn water into wine for me right fucking now and I'll maybe believe it. Maybe. Me and my little sister against the world for real. And that's how it should be, Raya. I truly believe that. I just genuinely think a good, healthy sibling relationship is like a best friend. Me and my siblings, if I ever had anything that like crazy happen, like I go to my sibling. I still just think it's a little weird to me that like it never came up in conversation. Whether from you or from your sister, like you guys are dating the same guy, you never thought to be like, hey, so like you be fucking like that or not? You know, like this whole situation could have been avoided if like they had just communicated and done their due diligence. But I feel like you can still sit there and be like, did you get your nut? Cool. That's all I want to know, you know? Call me fucking crazy for saying this, but I don't want any of my siblings to end up with some fuck ass man who doesn't please them for the rest of their lives, you know? I want my sisters to know that like if you are with a guy who ain't doing his fucking job, fucking leave him. Do I want to know the nitty gritty on how that happens? Absolutely fucking not, please. I'd rather deep throat a Glock, but I at least want to be like, hey, yo boy doing his job? Cool. Fucks with him, you know? When I say that we weren't in a serious relationship in high school, it's because I'm a firm believer that no high school relationship is that serious. We also both knew that we weren't planning on staying together forever. We only slept together 2, maybe 3 times, which in my mind isn't very serious even for teenagers. How long was it? 6 months? I mean, listen, I don't think that's not serious, but I also don't think it's like extremely serious. Either way, there needs to be some communique about what went on in that not so serious relationship. When my sister asked me if I would be okay with them dating, she specifically asked if I would find it weird or uncomfortable, and I told her as long as she wasn't bothered by the fact that we used to be a couple, I had no reservations. She said that she didn't mind at all, which I mistakenly took as she knew we slept together and didn't care. I'd always known him to be pretty truthful, and I never took it to mean that he actually completely lied to her. At dinner, the three of us were sitting at one end of the table and having the argument very quietly, so my friends didn't know what was happening until they got up and left. Otherwise, they would have defended me there. After I confessed that we slept together, he said something along the lines of, "That never happened, and I don't know why she would lie." I insisted I wasn't lying, but I also wasn't trying to be hurtful. He said some BS about how maybe their talk of marriage made me jealous and stirred up old feelings. That's when she turned on me and they left. I'm not trying to shit on the sister that hard, but like, come on, girl. Like, how are you that easily manipulated? You a full-grown woman now. You got to be able to like look through the bullshit even just a little bit. I think that's the problem is like right now, it's just a question of whether or not the sister is going to decide to stop fucking kidding herself. Now to the actual update. My sister came over this morning and we had a conversation and made amends. She told me that he had proposed a few days ago, but she hadn't told anyone because what I said was still weighing on her. She said that last night she went through his phone and found out that he has been cheating on her repeatedly for most of the relationship and that he slept with people before they were together. She confronted him this morning and they had a huge argument where he said that the reason he lied is because he knew it was important to her that they were both virgins and she wouldn't have stayed with him if she found out that he wasn't one and he really does love her and want to marry her. She thankfully did not believe him and ended it. I'm just begging for dudes to be self-aware. I have never understood this argument like, I really do love you, but I chose to cheat on you multiple times. Part of love to me is more than just a feeling. Love is I have made the decision that no matter what I feel, I will always choose you. And dudes don't understand that. Like, I genuinely think if you go and you cheat on someone, you don't love them anymore. I would argue you never did. You are just stupid, dumb idiot man that likes attention and affection. And in order to keep that attention and affection, you convince yourself that you're in love with them. I mean, at least the fucking sister came to the right conclusion. She came straight over to apologize and hear my side of the story. I asked her why she blindly believed him and left the restaurant and wouldn't answer me. And she said that she was embarrassed because waiting till marriage has always been a big deal to her, and she didn't want to believe that he wasn't as committed to her as she was to him. I, of course, accepted her apology and we both decided to move past it and always trust each other. She has also decided that she's going to take some time to reconsider what values are most important to her. Please, for the love of God, unbrainwash yourself. Please, bro. That's got to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Oh, save yourself until marriage. Why? Oh, so you can have a terrible sex life? So you can commit yourself to one man for the rest of your life and potentially be stuck with somebody who doesn't give a fuck about your pleasure? If it ain't the fucking patriarchy at work, baby. Listen, if you're religious, fine, bro. Do your thing. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm like, you can't do it. Do your thing. But like at the same time, please just question it. Please just understand where religion comes from and why it exists, because it's not for your best interest. I promise you that. All is now well. Our ex is totally the a-hole, and please don't say anything rude about my sister. I love her a ton and she just had a weak moment. I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole, even though I'm gonna be an asshole. This wouldn't have been a problem if you didn't believe in the fucking sky daddy who says that you can't have sex before you're married. I guess you also would have ended up with a piece of shit guy. Well, I mean, that would happen either way. I guess all I'm asking for is if you guys end up with your fucking siblings ex, have a conversation about what went on. I think that should be bare minimum. I think on both ends, like OP should have been like, hey, by the way, we had sex, just a heads up. And then also she should have been like, hey, yo, before I fucking get into it with this man and really get deep in the trenches, did you have sex with our boy? That's all I'm asking.